now when I see him, and we have seen a bunch of them. We've seen guys go over on the side, and so you hope it's not an ACL. I know there's a lot of reports out there that it is, and the team's concerned that it is. But on top of Kachchuck being out the first couple of months of the season, boy, I'll tell you, losing one of the best players in hockey. I don't know where you rank him. All I know is he's been a big part of 2 championships and been, I hear people say, the best two-way player in hockey. But boy, it'd be a big loss to lose that guy and everything he brings to the table. So let's hope we get some good news there. What was it, first day back together, full practice for those guys as coach gave him an extra week off. And so anyway, the
concerning thing obviously is the way that they carried him off, right? Those guys don't usually like to
No, those guys are tough as nails. Yeah. If there's any way possible, you were asking me, I said, listen, man, I know they're tough when they get cut, when they have cuts and they get sliced up and they, put the stitches in and they miss like one shift and they're back out there and you're going, these are tough dudes. But you can't be a tough guy on an ACL if that's the case. That's just impossible. It doesn't speed up the work. All those guys try to get back, and it's just hard to imagine if it's an ACL. He's done for the year, man. I'm not trying to play Baptist Health doctor this morning and not trying to fill in for our great doctors who cover the team over there, but it would
no chance he gets the Aaron Rodgers guy.
No.
Okay.
I don't think he's from that school. By the way, that's just beginning, because all of a sudden you're thinking, well, the Marlins, it's over. They're done. Last 3 games. Well, they got the Mets coming to town, and how cool would it be? It would just make my weekend. It would make part of my weekend if the Marlins could knock the Mets out. And the Reds are right there with them, 1 game behind. If the Marlins could somehow knock the Mets out, it's going to be packed, by the way. It's going to look like New York South at those 3 baseball games starting tonight. And
a little playoff game over there, right?
It is going to feel like all of a sudden the Marlins are going to treat this like the playoffs for them.
Yeah.
They're going to do everything they can. This isn't going to be try a new guy out tonight. This can be for 3 games, play your best players and try to make a difference in this. But yeah,
boy, the Mets spend so much money, don't they?
Oh,
it's amazing.
Well, he cut back, but he still, you're right, Woody, it's hard to imagine. I don't know what the actual payrolls are. I know the Dodgers spend $1 zillion, but the Mets seem to be right there. Of course, the Yankees don't get shortchanged on money either. But yeah, so the Reds are 1 game behind, and this is all for the 3rd wild card. This is the last playoff spot. The Mets just have not had a great year, but they are expecting big crowds. And I'm guessing it's going to be for the Mets to have a celebration and either get help with the Reds losing a couple of games or for the Mets to take care of business. So, hey, it'll be kind of fun if you're going out there. You want to feel a little playoff atmosphere and see what happens there over this 3-game series starting tonight as well. Florida State at Virginia. I mean, my God, man, even Canes fans are going, no, I'm not going out tonight. And if we do, honey, I'm going to be on my phone or we're going to find a TV to watch that Florida State-Virginia game. Of course, that will be Florida State's first ACC game of the season. Canes up there at Tallahassee next week to take on Florida State. So, man, we've got a lot of cool stuff. And for me, selfishly, and I don't know how many of you, the Ryder Cup, Europe, USA, 7:10 this morning, first match. I love this. There's a new love affair for a live player with the PGA players, Bryson DeChambeau and Justin Thomas, who's a fireball, will go against Johnny Rahm. How about that? And Terrell Hatton as well, a fun-loving Irishman. So they've got that alternate shot, which is not always everybody's favorite, and I'm dying to see. One guy sprays one, the next guy's trying to clean up the mess. So you're hoping both guys play well, and that will start it off. Scotty Scheffler will be running with the second group, teeing off this morning. So, man, I'm kind of excited for a Friday. Oh, my God, this is fantastic stuff that we have going on here. Hey, by the way, last night also, don't know, I did not watch it. I only watched the highlights this morning of Seattle getting a win over Arizona. By the way, that that division's pretty good.
That game wasn't very good.
No, but that division's pretty good. I'm just saying that division.
Damn, that was rough. That had a lot of that. Felt like one of those old Thursday games where like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, it was all right.
Marvin Harrison,
Stay
man.
around. Yeah.
He's got hands of stone.
Ooh.
What happened with that, man? He was supposed to be like the next
I don't know.
thing.
Some guys really liked him. Some knew about his quirky little personality.
You talking about when he got in that big fight with, was it like Fanatics or Tops or something? He's suing everyone like before this.
Yeah, and you're like, what are you doing, man? I mean, I appreciate when you look in the mirror what you see, and you want guys to have confidence that he has. But
those are usually, like, to me, big red flags, right? When the guy's like, I can't just sign his autograph deal or whatever, what jersey deal. I don't remember what it was.
He was going to go a separate way or something.
It's like, why don't you just focus on playing football? You're gonna make a lot of money.
He just needs to play like a, by the way, that's gonna be one of the themes today. Play like a high number one pick. That kind of goes back to I want to get into this Tua stuff. I do. And I've been
That's the only thing that can screw up a Friday, by the way, listening to that guy speak.
No. Look,
Lord.
He was asked about it. And he's aware of it, and I don't believe that. I'm sure if he didn't know and made him aware of what he was walking into. Listen, the stuff Cam Newton has said, I've said a lot of the same stuff too. And I look at it. I'm glad he spoke. He was very honest about his play. I don't know if you had a chance to, Woody. I got in a little late. He was pretty critical of himself, which you should be. He should be. I mean, too many turnovers, not playing well at the end. It's the same thing that everybody has said, whether they've never played at his level of football or never played high school, college, or professional football, that just like it, that are doing this. I think everybody that follows football understands that you can't have 4 picks and 5 turnovers in 3 games and 2 bad fourth quarter picks in tight ball games. They're going to talk about you. Now, you're not the only problem on the team. We need to play better with run defense, the pass rush. Once we get the run defense, pass rush, we have 0 takeaways, which, by the way, the Jets have the same thing. By the way, when I'm talking about the Dolphins, you're also talking about the Jets at the same time, because they've got their own problems, and we'll get into all that stuff this morning as well. But, so I appreciate him taking ownership of the team feeds off me. I do need to play better. There's a lot of reasons out there. I'm sure we're not all completely accurate, but I think we're all in the ball game on some of these things. And then I think he came out and was talking, Woody, you might have played, about his injuries, and they have started to affect him. And I was like, oh boy. And the other thing's been taking place. A lot of the national guys are talking to somebody in that building. There is no question. I'm going to stay out of this on that part, but there are national guys that are coming back with the same thing about the game plans put together by Mike McDaniel have been partially to protect Tua. As in, get rid of the ball quickly. Let's keep him from getting hit a lot. And staying super positive that this game plan, and we've had some chances to go deep, and he hasn't looked that way or whatever. Hey, listen, man, there's one way if you don't like all this conversation, if you don't like it. Your offensive line's not changing. Your weapons, your running back, and by the way, Cam Newton's right on the money. There's a lot of people who'd love to have your running back and your 2 wide receivers. A lot of people would love to have those 3 guys. That is a friggin' track meet that a lot of guys would love to have. You got a running back that's turned into one of the best running and pass catching running backs in the game. And he's on his way to another 1,800 yards, most likely this year. So nobody wants to hear about it. Just go out and play better. And the other part of this I wanted to say, listen, man, you're a high first-round pick. I say it all the time. And you were given a big second contract. You were given, as a high first-round pick, a big signing bonus. Those 2 things have set you up for life. But the problem that comes with it, you don't just get the money. And if you don't play well, you're going to hear about it. That is 100% accurate. Yes. Part of the franchise quarterback thing and part of being a high first-round pick are higher expectations on how you're going to play. That's just a fact. The money is part of it. It is. It wasn't just whether you like the way Cam Newton said it. It is a fact. It is a fact. Tom Brady coming in as a 6th-round pick. We'll see what we get. Wow. This has turned out great. Expectations, the higher your pick, man. This draft thing is big business. They don't give you big signing bonuses after you sign your contract if they don't think you have a chance to be a really good player. You start drafting quarterbacks in the top 10 picks. It used to cost GMs their jobs when they missed on them. Now it's a little more lenient. Sometimes you get a second chance now. But I just want to make it clear, this is all part of the deal, whether it's coming from Cam Newton, our local writers, radio guys. And you're right. We've never and could never play that position. None of us, except Cam Newton. He did play it, and he actually played it better than you do. But
he just needs to – these answers are just not thoughtful. And here's the thing. He gave a lot of good – I don't think he thinks anything. But he did give a lot of great answers yesterday. The problem was, Joe, when you went on Twitter yesterday, the number one trending topic in America was Cam Newton because Tua took this swipe, and it's people are going to take it out of context a little bit, and then they start going on, hey, Cam was an MVP. Cam went to the Super Bowl. Cam is 1,000 times the player you'll ever be.
Right.
And it turns into that stuff.
It's just
Tua just seems to live in his own world where he gives these thoughtless answers, and you said he was prepared, they tell him about this stuff. It just sounds like he's just in another world.
Can I tell you what? I have another theory here, knowing all the characters that we're talking about, maybe and probably better than most people, if you think that's fair. I think, Ann, I'm giving you stuff that the national guys won't give you. I think Ann in communications makes it a point to explain to every one of them, the GM, the head coach, and the quarterback, what's coming. I do. She's very knowledgeable about, she's been around it. And I think they get up there and just kind of get away from the game plan.
I don't know what they do.
I don't think she tells them what to say because, Tua's not a rookie anymore. Mike's been around for a while now, and Chris has been around a long time. He's seen it all.
We just have to do better than you guys can't play off the street. I'd like to see you do what I do. We got to do better than that, man.
He's right, though.
The guy's making $250 million.
He is. He's right about one thing.
You and I can't play? Yeah,
that's correct.
Thank you, Tua.
Well, we would have never known that, right?
No. He needed to point that out. Joe, he's becoming very unlikable with these press conferences. They're not doing him any favors, man. And you can tell that these national guys, remember, there used to be a big Tua love affair, right? Everyone seemed to like him. These guys are turning on him in a big-time way. These press conferences are not helping him.
He's got one thing he can do besides the 6 days a week that we talk about the stuff off the field and what he says. He needs to just play better. At the end of the day, a lot of this noise will go away, but you got to play a hell of a lot better than you're playing right now. Whatever the reason. And I've had people try to leak me reasons. Just play better. You're not the first guy that did. I'm sorry you don't have a combination of the Buffalo Bills and Detroit Lions offensive line. I'm sorry that you've had these injuries and concussions and hip stuff. And hey, man, you hit the jackpot. You're set. Now you just have to play better. But if you think you're going to continue to be the starting quarterback and the noise is going to go away, and if you're not aware that the quarterback position is the most important position we have in professional sports, minus maybe an NHL goalie, boy, you need a wake-up call on that one, brother. You need a wake-up call. We got to go to break here, man. Got a lot more stuff to get to this morning. I do, starting early in the morning, want to talk about Dr. Barry and his staff. And if you've been up all night and really struggling, going through some struggles in your life, man, I was there. Oof, boy, I was there, along with everything else that's been dysfunctional in the Joe Rose world, which is pretty good right now. Got to tell you, it's starting to look like a pretty good ending here. But I will tell you, Dr. Barry and his staff at Recovery Unplugged can really help you, whether it's through professional or it's through personal stuff with your family or anything else, we're talking about getting you back on the road and getting you going. Especially if it has to do with your mental health and people around you are going, hey, man, you need to get some help. Recovery Unplugged Behavioral Health has a beautiful mental health residential program in Fort Lauderdale. For 12 years, they've helped over 20,000 people heal with expert clinical team, innovative treatments like ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety, and trauma. If you or someone you love needs a winning strategy and a little help, call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. Everyone deserves a great season in life. Let's make this one for you the same. Recovery Unplugged, heal out loud.
on how you've played?
How I've played? I haven't played anywhere near the standard that I've played in years past, and knowing the standard that I can play to. And it starts with me, with the offense, getting our guys going, and then the defense being able to feed off of that as well, right? So, yeah, I wouldn't say I've been playing my best football yet. I think as I look back at Alabama, and then as I was getting ready to come to the NFL, I think one of the biggest changes and differences that I felt would have been some of the surgeries that I've had, that I can kind of feel some of the residuals within my ankles. I was running a little different when I was at Alabama, and it's just not the same. And that, I think that's normal given the surgeries and everything that comes with the sport, right?
All right, that was the I think that's kind of, hey man, I think people appreciate him saying it. At the end of the day, though, we get through all this, you just got to play better. I got to tell you, I've said this before. The Jets on Monday night is a great time for you to flip the page here. It really is. The Jets have got all kinds of problems. What we have, they have. Hell, they're talking about firing Aaron Glenn up there. There are people upset with him. He did a dance on the side after they scored. I guess they forgot that Baker Mayfield was going to march down. It wouldn't have mattered, and people are upset with that. And the team looks like the same as it did before Aaron Glenn, and they made all the changes in their organization. The team plays. He's talking about missed tackles, and part of the team wants to play zone, and the other wants to play man-to-man, and they've got injuries too, like everybody else. Nobody wants to hear about them and who's going to end up playing and who's not. But at the end of the day, we can sit here and go through this and what he said and critique everything that he says. And he came clean. Some of the things he said in the past, talking about watching other guys, I'm going to be watching to see how many guys are coming in and watch extra tape on their day off. And I'm like, you worry about you. You need to worry about the tape. The quarterback needs to worry about the tape. Those other guys will do it. We had guys that love tape. There's been guys that have been legendary watching tape guys. Zach Thomas jumps to the front of the line, as a guy that if one guy watched more tape than a quarterback, it was Zach Thomas. They had to kick him out of there. The janitor had to fight him one night to get him out of a room. So I made that up, but it sounded good, didn't it? See that janitor going in, hey, I got to clean this room one night. Okay. Can you leave? But this stuff. And then, here's what you started now though. So you go the Cam Newton thing, and he's doing his thing and all that stuff. And listen, a lot of guys don't like Cam Newton. Let's not make it like Cam Newton's the most popular guy to ever play that position. But you can't take it away from Cam Newton, who was a first overall pick. So he's been in that shoe, if not above it, as a highest first-round pick in the draft. And he went on to do something we haven't done since I played. Go to a Super Bowl. And he won an MVP. And he won that MVP now. Don't think that was like, well, it was close. There was nobody close. From touchdown passes and the way he ran the football. Now, the problem is the way he ran the football as a third running back and sometimes looked like a fullback inside the 5-yard line. But, he's a big dude, man. He was running guys over and put up monster numbers. So, you start that with him, and he's super popular now on social media. He's got a full-time gig with ESPN, with Stephen A. And those guys, and listen, Ryan Clark was right there with him. Ryan Clark has been going after Tua. Like, they're doing everything they can. They're giving him great weapons. They keep trying to work on the O-line. I don't know if it's working or not like everybody hoped, or not yet. But nothing's going to be perfect. You can't just, spend a lot of money on the offensive side of the ball. You spend a lot of money on 3 guys already. And you just got to play better instead of talking about this. But the money thing, folks, in today's world of sports, especially quarterbacks, we talk about what they make and what they're going to make. I hear him talking about the latest one is what Daniel Jones is going to make now. Saw that. Well, Daniel Jones getting ready for a big bump. Could be $30 million a year.
I mean, I never get mad at the guy because it's not like he forced them to give him the money, right? I mean, the Dolphins willingly gave him the money, so it's their problem.
Oh, no. Hey, listen.
Their fault.
If you got a problem with it, don't be mad at Tua. He did what we would all do.
Fault. But today is going to be a response day. All these guys that been talking about him for the last few days, they got their soundbite, right? They got to to respond, and now they get to have their Friday to fire back at him.
Well, what is there really to fire back at? I'm gonna say
but
this.
But they're gonna do it.
No. But you're gonna hear this out. So the guy said, I'm not playing well, and all the things we've been saying. If you play better, it'll pick the whole team up. I totally agree. Hey man, I've been on a team that was. I saw the killer bees at the end. The end when they were AJ Dewey was getting surgeries on his two shoulders, his two knees. Bob Baumhauer needed surgeries. Bo had his shoulders redone. They were at that point. The defense wasn't very good. The defense that played against the 49ers in the Super Bowl was driven by one of the greatest offenses of all time. And Danny knew that we needed to outscore everybody, right? I think we scored 45 points in the AFC Championship game. I might be wrong. It's a long time ago. But it was like, hey, guys, here we go. We got to outscore everybody. We're going to get stops. They're going to get some stops. They will. But we need to be special. We need to get back into the track meet here. And it started. And it kind of lifted everything because a 7-point would be a 14-point lead. And then the other team had to change their offense and maybe not comfortable because we had their ass playing catch up. And they knew they couldn't stop him. And it led us right into a Super Bowl against the 49ers where we lost out in the Bay Area in the last one that we played in. So all those things he said he gets. I mean, it's not like he's got the mirror at home.
I'm with you. The whole press conference, if you take it as a whole, was he did a nice job. But they're not going to do that today. They're going to play that clip, and they're going to tee up Ryan Clark or Cam Newton, whoever the hell is on today, and they're going to say, this is what he said to respond to you guys. And then they're going to say the same thing about how this guy needs to be a little more self-aware when he's speaking to the media.
Yeah.
Guy speaks for 10 minutes a week. He doesn't do anything else.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a problem, right? I think that he could have done a better job of kind of being a part of the community.
All right.
Right.
So I'm just saying this. We're going in the weekend and college football is going to take over. And then Sunday's going to be the games. And then Monday night's going to be his night. And he just needs to play a lot better and close out the Jets. And I can't say it enough. If there's a team to get healthy on right now, it's the Jets.
Yeah, but physically, Joe, I don't know that he can get healthy.
No.
I know. Hey, by the way, you're talking about a win gets the team feeling better.
He needs to still play. We're going to be watching everything he does.
You've been onto this for a little bit here with these throws that he's been making, these deep throws that just don't seem.
Mike came out and said he still throws the ball well, which Mike, I don't know what you're watching, and unless he's got time in that,
You hit it on the head, though, man. I think you're onto something with this.
I'm not
2 for 2, by the way, on your big theories. You had the Aaron Rodgers thing with the no wife, and
thanks, Woody.
And this one, you are really though onto something because something is not right. And he came out yesterday, and a texter said, "I don't appreciate Tua saying that stuff about his injuries now. Would have been nice if we heard stuff like that before his contract." When he said the market is the market, but that's not on him. That's the Dolphins. It's the Dolphins' job to decide who to pay, right?
At some point, there will be accountability for that stuff.
Yeah, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to fall on Tua. I can promise you that.
No, they're not going to go Tua. Why'd you take the friggin' money? Why would you do that?
Yeah. Did you hide those surgeries and all that?
Yeah.
No, they did them.
No,
they know what's going on.
Everybody in the league was watching when all those guys were working out, and he did who's the guy he did the side workout with, and the guy was going on TV. He's now a college coach. He was a high school coach. He played in the NFL. Played for the Baltimore Ravens. Trent Dilfer.
Oh, yeah.
Trent Dilfer worked him out. He picked me to work him out. And let me tell you something. He is going to be different. Remember, we got the workouts. We got to see him throwing it deep and throwing it and sliding around. And he's going to be back. And this is not a serious injury. And yeah, man, that was like yesterday. Hey, we got to go to break here. We've got a lot more stuff to get to. Xavier Howard, you started it, man, the old panic mode pressure. The panic mode pressure has not left after 3 games. And now we get set for the Jets. And it looks like, by the way, Justin Fields could be making a return. He was at practice. He still got to get cleared by the doctors, the neurologist, of course, for the concussion. Anyway, we'll have more on that coming up here in just a moment. But first, I want to talk to you about Atlantic Men's Clinic and great results. Folks and men out there, I just want to tell you, if you're going through it right now and you got low T as in tired all the time, your energy level, and you say yourself, I'm just getting older. And yeah, I do. I realize I'm irritable all the time and I'm in a fog. I don't sleep well. I'm a little snappier than I used to do. And I'm like, God, I don't know why he just did that. Hey, man, it's all part of low T. It is. And with it, usually following behind big brother low T is little brother ED. And that is your sex drive is shot. Not working. Nothing's working. I went through it about a year and a half ago. And by the way, it's hit and miss before that. And I don't want to make you sound like I'm some kind of superstar here. But, man, it was like, wow, this is really depressing. ED is depressing, man. And if you're going through it, Atlantic Men's Clinic, I went in there. I didn't know half the stuff. They sat down, explained everything to me like a third grader that I am. And I got to tell you, it was fantastic. I went in there, got the PSA test. I talked to their professionals, had an honest talk. They put me on a program, and within weeks, man, I started feeling great. Played tennis again yesterday, go home, get my work done. It's amazing. It's amazing getting close to 70 and feeling so good. And I just want to tell every guy out there, if you're going through it, 40s, 50s, 60s, ED and low T is going to hit every guy out there. The question is, are you going to go to Atlantic Men's Clinic, set up that first appointment, and get great results or not? You depend on how you want to spend the third and fourth quarters of your life. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. Hollywood, our brand new one. Call them today, 877-455-7300. The first appointment's the most important one. AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Get all the information you need.
it, like, we got to do something about it. And we got to be able to show what we've been talking about throughout training camp, throughout OTAs, because all of that is not translating to stacking wins for us. So I think that's what the gist of this game is. Like, let's go out there, show the kind of football we can play, stack a win in the win column, then we can move from there.
All right, welcome back. A lot of Tua Tagovailoa. I'm sure a lot of it will start to pop up yesterday afternoon. And listen, this goes back because of the position that it is. It's quarterback, and it is the most important position in sports, except maybe a goalie in hockey. So anyway, speaking of that, man, speaking of hockey, damn, I hope Alexander Barkov got some good news. I know they probably know by now. Matter of fact, if it is an ACL, they know real quickly. We just saw Nick Bosa have one and saw him come off, and you see the signal he gave mom and dad up in the stands. I know mom for sure. I'm not sure if John was there, his father, or not, but I know he saw his mom and he gave her the "this is bad" signal. And sure enough, 2 days later, it was ACL. So hopefully Alexander Barkov gets a bad sprain knee or something out of this and is not gone. Because if it's ACL, he's probably done for the season as one of the best players in hockey as they're going for this three-peat. They've already got Matthew Kachchuck out for a couple of months. But I got news for you, man. They're still going to win games. And don't get me wrong, you can't lose guys like that who a lot of people think those two guys are two of the top 10 players in hockey. And obviously when you keep winning championships, you can't just say they're a whole bunch of just really good players. You got stars, and they've got them. And those are two of the best. So hopefully, and we're going to know today. Today's the day, man. Today's the day that we find out. He knows right now. And so we'll see what comes out today. We got a lot of cool stuff going on here. By the way, we're giving away that another 4-pack today for the Marlins.
Yeah, we
hell all of a sudden, Woody, this thing got a heck of a lot more fun.
I know.
So
who would have thought, right?
The Mets games would be the Mets, who, by the way, God bless them, lose every game you can. You went out, you got an owner to come in and spend money. I mean, he was spending money like a rock star on cocaine. He really was. He was getting after it.
Wow.
And that's a max. That's old school.
Yeah.
Rock stars, hitting it hard.
You surprised me with that
24/7. And so anyway, all of a sudden the Reds are one game behind the Mets. I think Arizona's only a couple games back, but it's a little bit more of a long shot. So the Marlins are in a situation. It's going to look like the game's up in New York. It is. It's going to look like a Mets home game. That's okay. The Marlins will accept. We'll accept you for all 3 games.
Well, we're ready to roll here with this giveaway whenever you want. We do. I think we got to make sure that it doesn't go to a Mets fan somehow, though.
Now, how are you going to do that? I always love when you say that.
Well, you can instantly tell. I mean, if it's a
you can tell
or not, but
so now you're a scum. So scumbags now. Is that what you're saying?
I can tell them.
Half of this place is some people lived in New York at one point in their life, and if they did, so
I know. Not a
or
fan
their families out there.
No, but we do like Marlins trivia. Maybe we'll ask them a Marlins.
Where's your dad from?
Long Island. Is that part of New York?
Yeah, you know what? You're a real jack job. You
I
really
didn't know that was
are.
part of New York.
You're a real jack job. You are. Everybody somewhere along the line.
Did you know that, or did you just?
No, you never told me. Fraud. Anyway,
it's okay.
Hey, we've been doing it late. We'll do it. What do you say we do it in the 8 o'clock hour or something this morning?
Born and raised there, yeah.
But anyway, the old Met, I got you on that one. But the Mets, man, need to finish it out and got to get some wins here. Not going to happen. The Marlins are, I'm sure, Skip got on that plane on their way home and said, "Hey guys, we're treating this 3-game series like it's our playoffs, and we're going to do everything we can." Try to win this thing.
This is true. So it's the only thing that unites South Florida sports fans is our hatred for New York teams. The sad thing though,
there's a lot of
those rivalries have lost their luster.
There's a lot of guys that I know that still wear Yankee caps. You see them, I'm going,
I
grew up there when I was a kid. No, but
those rivalries just don't hit the same way that they used to, right? Like Heat Knicks. is dead for the most part, right?
Uh-huh.
It got a little revival in the Stoudemire Mello when he punched the fire extinguisher thing.
No, but we can't seem to be good. The rivalries start to
No.
die because the teams can't be good at the same time anymore like they used to when Patrick was playing against Alonso.
Yeah, like I don't see people getting all amped up for Dolphins Jets on Monday Night Football.
No, that thing and you know what? Bob Wischusen and I talk about that. And Bob says we just can't seem to be good at the same time. And then of course, when I was playing, they had really good teams and we played 3 times one year, including one of them to go to a championship game. Yeah, so through the years, it just hasn't happened a lot. Either one team's been good or the other's been good, or let's be honest, most of the time we've both been bad or very below average or average. I told you what they did to me my rookie year, the Jets. We were 8-8 my rookie year. And then we started after that, we took off and started. We went through a nice run. But my rookie year, we were 8-8 in 1980. And the Jets, I believe, were 4-12. And guess what? They beat us twice. They were 4-12. It was like, hey, we're not going to the playoffs. We have a higher pick than you do in the first round. And so we know we're not going either, but we're at least going to get something out of this. A much higher pick than you are. And you guys are going to be picking in the worst place, Woody, as you always say, 8-8 or now 8-9 or 9-8 is the worst place to be, just outside the playoffs.
Yeah, but Dolphins Jets growing up was like the best. I mean, that was Heat Knicks was the best.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's our best rivalry in this town.
Oh, it's
Canes FSU. I mean, like
the best thing.
What's our best pro rivalry?
Canes FSU.
Panthers Lightning
that we get every year. It's Canes FSU, and then it's
Are we going Panthers Lightning?
Yeah, Panthers Lightning got to be up there
because it was. Remember, Heat Celtics was great.
Yeah,
for a while there, but.
All right, we got to go to break here. We've got 7 o'clock hour coming up here. EJ Manuel's going to join us from ACC Network, analyst. We'll talk to him. A little college football coming up. So, matter of fact, you know what? We're just going to take a break. We'll be right back after this. Sports.
Doral VW just broke the rules of gravity. Prices are falling so fast, we're checking for a crater. Volkswagen's priced like they lost their minds. Doral VW, buckle up. No one sells for less, and no one starting in the NFL. Week 4 began with Seattle beating Arizona 23-20. Week 4 continues on Sunday. The Dolphins will host the Jets on Monday Night Football. Over to the Marlins, who fell to the Phillies 1-0. Miami now head home for their final 3 games of the season against the Mets. Tonight's first pitch is at 7:10 from Lone Depot Park. On the ice, Panthers captain Alexander Barkov was helped off the ice after an apparent right leg injury. The Cats will continue the preseason when they host Carolina on Monday. And in college football, FSU will be in Charlottesville to play Virginia tonight. The Canes will play FSU a week from Saturday. Joe, tough one for the Noles tonight out there in
we were just talking about it. The old, are they looking ahead? And they got their hands full with Virginia, who's hoping they are looking ahead. And
these are the kinds of games, though, right? Like if you're gonna blow one, I like Virginia to win this game outright. I'm probably way off, but I gotta go with you on your picks. Your record's stellar, man.
I don't know about that. I don't want to get carried away, but we'll
be rich if we were betting with you.
We'll see what happens with this Florida State thing, because man, I haven't seen them since the Alabama game, but they look good. That was they beat Alabama every possible way. That wasn't South Florida the way they beat Florida, where you're going, what the hell happened that you lose that game? And you see a guy dropping balls and penalties, a guy spitting on a guy. This just a butt kicking what happened with FSU against Alabama. It's just hard to imagine. I know Virginia's like 7 or 8 ACC teams. If you don't bring your A game, you're going to lose. Georgia Tech's in there, Louisville's in. All the characters, man. And if you're not ready to go, they're going to get you. Syracuse, another one. After watching Syracuse and what they did to Clemson, that was a butt kicking.
The spread is small, right? Like it went up. It was 6.5, 7.5 now on Hard Rock. So that's obviously a big, point change there. But
they're on the road.
A huge number.
We'll see what happens. And by the way, Miami's going for their first road game up to Tallahassee.
Yeah.
And they haven't been away. Things are nice down here.
By the way,
they're really good at Hard
Virginia
Rock
tonight, right?
What?
You're rooting for Virginia, obviously, tonight, right?
No, I want Florida State to win.
Why?
Because I want to see them both undefeated.
Matchup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want them to be ranked as high as possible.
Okay. I don't really care about ESPN's viewership numbers.
I'm not worried about that either.
I'd like to see them lose.
I want rankings as far as power, strength of schedule and that stuff.
I don't think that's going to matter.
Okay. Well, will you just do the way you want to do it, and I'll do it the way I want to do it. Is that okay?
They're ranked number 2.
I just want to see the teams they're playing win. I want Notre Dame to win games. I don't want Notre Dame losing. I want.
Got to stop dropping the snap on the extra points.
Okay. Well,
Notre Dame will win.
We got to get all caught up here. We apologize. We were a little long-winded here, and I'm not getting into it with that guy in the other room there. EJ Manuel, former FSU Buffalo Bill quarterback, ESPN college analyst, now going to join us here in just a couple of minutes, so we'll get to him. But first, before we do, it's truck month at your South Florida Chevy dealer. September's a big month. Boy, if you're looking for a new truck, you can't beat Chevy trucks. You just can't, man. We got great offers. We got convenient locations, 14 of them throughout South Florida, to get one of those durable bad boy trucks that we have. Durable Colorado with its standard Turbo Max engine, impressive torque, and Silverado 1500, always ready, steady, and strong, man. Whether it's for a workday workhorse or the weekend warrior, you need a truck to really enjoy your life as well as work hard. Boy, we got a Silverado 1500 for you. How about the Silverado HD? Legendary horsepower and one of the hardest working beds in the business. Yeah, man, whether it's a midsize, full-size, or heavy-duty truck you're looking for, this weekend, check out your South Florida Chevy dealers and take a pickup. Take a truck for a drive, man. Find out for yourself. Hey, you can get a truck, and it works just as hard as you do at your South Florida Chevy dealers. We got great offers going on right now. Sports.
hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com.
All right. Hey, we got another big college football weekend coming off a big one with the University of Miami against Florida and their win. EJ Manuel, ESPN college analyst, joins us this morning. EJ, thank you so much, man. I know you got big plans after this, so I appreciate you coming on.
Joe, anytime you call, you know I'm available. You always join our show on Sirius XM as well. So happy to be on with you, brother. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. And I wanted to get your take on Carson Beck before we get into the Miami Hurricanes. What's been your take on how he's fitting in so far and what you've seen from him?
Well, Joe, beyond his fit, man, I'm just happy for Carson as a fellow quarterback, and we all know at that position, a lot of times you don't really get second or third chances. And I know he's still in college, but I look at this as a chance where he was revamped and changed the narrative around his career from last year.
Yeah.
And being in the Shannon Dawson offense, I knew, and I said this back in July, that Shannon would call a scheme of plays where he could get the ball out of his hands and not have to worry about getting sacked and not force the football, have interceptions. He's just playing really clean, and I really think if he can keep this thing together and stay healthy, not only will Miami have a chance to win a lot more games, but also he's going to end up being a first-round pick.
How much different does this Canes team look to you than last year when you watch them play? I think whatever poll you're looking at, whether they're 2 or 5 in the top 10, though, for sure.
The biggest difference is on defense because the offense is great. I mean, look, Cam Ward is still one of the best ever, and he's going to probably be a GOAT in Miami thoughts, right? But defensively, that's the part where I see championship caliber. And it's still early, so you can say that about a few other teams, but that's the biggest thing on tape that I noticed. You know, when I'm watching the ball carrier and the defense for Miami's out there, I see at least 4 or 5 white helmets around the ball carrier every single play. And we did an interview with Mario Cristobal on Wednesday for our ACC Network podcast. And that was a big thing I told him. I was like, it's the impressive part about this defense. Of course, you got big players and guys who are fast, but the effort and the execution that I'm seeing from this Miami defense on a consistent basis is where I think that really separates them from the past couple of years.
You know, what's amazed me about it, and how good Bain and Mesidor have both been. I know we've talked a lot about Ruben Bain, who's obviously a different level, but Mesidor on the other side, it's hard to imagine anybody's got 2 better defensive ends in the way these two are playing right now.
Yeah, look, I think that's the best tandem in the country, for sure in the ACC as far as pass rushers, and even Mohamed Toure as well, kind of joining the mix, and the linebackers are really good. So, look, I'm excited about the Canes because I know I'm a Seminole, but I think college football is better when those 2 teams are good. And no shade to University of Florida. They're obviously trying to get some things figured out, but it's just different. And it's also a big deal for the ACC to have those 2 teams, because when they were brought into the ACC, that was the whole goal. That was the plan, right? To have Florida State and Miami be contenders every year. And that's how it's seeming to shape up to this point.
Boy, EJ, you hit that right on the head. And speaking of that, Florida State at Virginia tonight, their first ACC game in Virginia, little sneaky team themselves, pretty good. Florida State, boy, that was watching that Alabama game, and I think everybody thought they're going to come back. They came out flat, and Florida State just kicked their butt. How good is this Florida State, and what's been the key to the big turnaround for this program from the year before?
Yeah, Joel, they're very good. I mean, this is a team mentally and maturity-wise. I want to see them come out and handle business tonight. That'll tell me more of how good they are, because it's one thing to get up for a home game, first game out against Alabama. You had some success early, which gave them confidence, and the defense also flying around, similar like I said about Miami's defense, pursuing the football. But I think with Florida State, you know, just keeping Tommy Castellanos, their quarterback, healthy is going to be a big key. I also think the fact that they can create some turnovers, especially tonight. Look, UVA is good, man. Anybody that thinks this is like that old typical UVA Cavalier football team, you're wrong, man. They got a good offense. They have some really good players on defense as well. So I'm expecting a dogfight tonight in Charlottesville.
There's some great games going on this week. I'm really looking forward to seeing this Oregon team. I don't know a lot about them. Every time I watch a highlight, they look like they got a chance to win this whole thing at Penn State. What do you expect in that one? That should be a good one.
Yeah, so the big thing I expect Dante Moore, the quarterback for Oregon, to have a big day. And people might have forgot about Dante because he was a starter as a freshman at UCLA. He transfers to Oregon. He's able to sit. He's able to learn. And, Joe, you know how important I think that is for quarterback development. He sat behind Dylan Gabriel last year, who was a Heisman finalist. The year before that, Bo Nix was a Heisman finalist. So you know the trend of quarterbacks at Oregon within those offenses usually leads to a lot of success. But I expect him to have, some opportunities to make some big plays. Now, on the opposite side, there's a defensive end for Penn State, denied Dennis Sutton, number 33. And this guy's a beast, man. I was actually watching the film of Abdul Carter, who was a top 5 pick out of Penn State last year, now with the Giants. And I kept seeing this other guy on the opposite end, like number 33. I was like, man, who the hell is this kid? And I'm not going to say he's as good as Abdul Carter, Joe, but, I mean, this guy can be as good. So I feel like he's going to be a game wrecker in this one, too. So we're all in for a treat.
EJ, we hear about and this kind of ties in the NFL a little bit since you played at the highest level in both areas there. So everybody's talking about this quarterback class coming out in college and how good it's going to be. I don't see it as good. I think Klubnik kind of hurt it a little bit because he just hasn't been as good as I thought he was going to be to this point. How good is this class potentially for the NFL for this upcoming draft?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it'll be better toward the end of the season. I still consider us in the early portion. I know we're almost halfway, which is pretty crazy how fast this thing goes, but I think there's been some certain risers. Obviously, Garrett Nussmeier is still going to be the top of discussion. I think the fact that he has the pedigree and his dad has been a long-time NFL head coach, NFL assistant coach, and certainly, LSU going to continue to have success. So I think Nussmeier will be in the running. I really think Carson Beck's put himself in that position, man. He's going to continue to give himself chances to be a first-round pick. I said that a few minutes ago. Lenore Sellers will certainly be a guy that I know scouts and GMs are going to love just because of his athletic ability. And if he decides to come out, I would personally love to see him stay one more year just to really refine his tools to really be ready at that level. Because once you get to the NFL, that's it. Like that development and all that stuff. Yeah. Like Jackson Dart, it's time for him to play. It's 3 or 4 weeks into the NFL season. So here you go, bud. Strap it up. But I do think this will be one of those classes. I don't know how, if it's going to be one of the best ever, Joe, but I do think once we get to it, it'll be, some quality guys, at least 3 or 4 QBs that go in the first round.
I'll leave you with this one because, we're doing a lot of Tua talk down here. A lot. He hasn't gotten off to a great start this year and talked yesterday. I'm just curious. Everybody got you played that position, and I'm just curious. What have you seen from Tua when you get home on Sundays and get a chance to watch a little Dolphins football living down here in South Florida? What do you see?
Yeah, so I actually went to the Dolphins Patriots game a few weeks ago. I guess that was the home opener. And one, it was an awesome game because it went back and forth. As far as what I see for Tua, man, I think, again, it's still so early in the season. I know I'm a glass half full kind of guy, and I think you have to be as a quarterback because the position's so hard. But for him, man, it just, keep trusting it. Don't buy into the noise about Coach McDaniel, what's going to happen with the coach. Tua obviously is not going anywhere. He's owed too much money, truthfully. But I do know he needs to start winning. And ultimately, that's how us quarterbacks are judged. We all know it. Tua knows it. I think there's opportunity there for him to continue to get better. Has he been perfect? No. But again, it's still such an early portion of the season where there's still a lot of time to turn this thing around. So I say, look, winning heals all, and every single quarterback knows that.
Yeah. EJ, thank you, man. I don't want to keep you from you got a little golf game set up here maybe this morning?
Joe, it's so funny, man. Literally, I just put on my shoes. I'm headed to the course in a minute. So, but I had to make time for you, bro. I got you anytime.
Thank you so much, EJ. I appreciate it, man. Have a good weekend. Thanks.
All right, you too, Joe. Thanks.
All right, EJ Manuel, ESPN college analyst, still getting that golf game in, man. Before you hit the road for all the college football shows tomorrow, you can watch EJ Manuel on there. Hey, we got more stuff to get to. Baptist Health South Florida, they're working. They never stop working. The bad part of sports, unfortunately, and we're talking about in hockey now. We talk about in football all the time. Tyler Hero's talking in basketball. Listen, I'm glad with bad news of injury, the good news is we have Baptist Health South Florida. It really is. Where do the pros go? Inter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, and the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, all the guys we're talking about and their teams. They go to the Doctors of Baptist Health South Florida. It's one of the top sports medicine programs in the country. You talk about having great doctors and specialists. They put together an all-star lineup, deep all-star lineup, knee, shoulder, foot and ankle, hand, back, hip and knee replacement, Achilles. They've seen it all and work on it every day. And I will tell you, along with the great facilities they have at Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, obviously over at Hard Rock Stadium next to the training facility for the Miami Dolphins, and 595 in Pine Island in Plantation, Dr. Swartzen up there and the gang will take really good care of you. Just visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. One goal every day, one goal for all of us, man. High school, college, professional athletes, and all the rest of us. Let's get healthy, back out playing the sports we love the most.
We're going to head back out here to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com.
All right, Woody, thank you so much. We go right to Larry Bluestein, our high school football insider. I got to tell you, Blue, I got up this morning and I saw that Archbishop McCarthy came back and beat Miami-Norland 21-14. That's got to rank as one of the biggest wins McCarthy's had in a long, long time.
Yeah, no doubt. Huge game. They were down. They came back and they won the game and put themselves in a great position in the district because, they still have Plantation and then Heritage to play. And New Orleans in a tough deal now because they've got to win out. And if they don't win out, then it's going to be pretty tough for them to make the playoffs. And this was a team, obviously, that a lot of people thought had an opportunity to overtake Heritage this year, but hasn't been that way.
Yeah. Well, that one, surprised me last night, and you and I were talking about it before the game. Hey, the other game, American Heritage Plantation, is going to Plantation to play. That's private versus public there in good old city of Plantation where I play tennis. What's your take on this one tonight? American Heritage Plantation, a hard read right now, and I do want to get into Dia Bell, who was really playing at a high level. He has, and to hear he has an injury and can't finish the season. But what's their chances moving forward with Leon Strotter now the quarterback?
Yeah, I think they're going to be good. I watched them last week against Central. They had a 21-9 lead. Central caught them. And Central won the game, I guess, because, Central's really been waiting to play. They've had more games postponed or, because of lightning. So they only had played 2 games, so they were kind of fresh. But to answer your question, I think Leon's going to do a good job. And this tonight becomes a must-win for both teams now that Archbishop has a win in hand, in the district. And then certainly last year, all 4 of those teams made the playoffs, believe it or not, in one district. But I don't know if it's going to happen like that this year. And kind of a special night. Got to give a shout out to Frank Hepler. He's going into the Hall of Fame at Plantation, and it's going to be a great night for them. And hopefully they could put up a fight because I know that Coach Mike Smith and his team kind of stinging after last week, and they want to get back on the win track. You know what? They're 1-3, which is, you think to yourself, that when you shoot out that, they're the best 1-3 team in the state or country. They really are. Because their schedule's been crazy.
Yeah.
And, they've played no teams with losing records. And, when you look at, and as well as anybody, when you've been in the game, you look at the opposing teams, records, overall. And Heritage's team record, their opposing team are 28-16. So that's pretty good. So that means they're winning, as opposed to a lot of teams who might be 5-0 right now, but their opposing teams are like 12-18, 12-28. So I think this is a big game for both teams, but I think this is more of a pressing game for Heritage because, they still have St. Thomas coming up. It's not going to be easy for them. They created this, getting this schedule. And then now they have to live with it. But shout out, guys, go to Christopher Columbus. They won their first game yesterday.
Did they really? That's weird, man, to think Columbus been so good. We've gotten spoiled to get their first win.
Yeah, and especially 5 games in. But they have a chance to go on a little bit of a run here and maybe get right back into it. They lost to Palmetto a couple of weeks ago, which puts them second in 7A, in the region right now, but that could be rectified with a playoff win. So, you're getting down to the point where a lot of these teams, are playing for district titles, and actually, colleges are getting to come out now. So a lot of these players are getting an opportunity to play for, scholarships, and not just this year, but for the future.
Hey, I want to ask you about Cardinal Gibbons. Nice win for them. Coach DeBuck going to Coconut Creek and getting a win. Did that surprise you a little bit?
You know what? I thought it'd be a really good game, and it was. It was, low scoring. They scored 11 points to win, and then they bounced back last night and get another win, and that kind of sets up Monday. In a makeup game. I know it's kind of crazy.
Wow.
Well, the Dolphins are looking for their first win. Wes Broward and Cardinal Gibbons will be playing up in Fort Lauderdale, and I think that's going to be probably one of the best games of the week because Wes Broward, after 2 losses against nationally rated teams, has won 3 straight. So that should be a really, really good game as well. But like I said, Joe, everything's kind of setting the table for next Saturday at 4:30 at Travis Powell. Sort of the hors d'oeuvre for the Miami-Florida State game when Northwestern and Central kick it off. Kind of a weird day, kind of a weird time, but they didn't want to go head-to-head with Miami and FSU, and I don't blame them.
So, this Central, we didn't give them, and I'm working off you, my friend, and the national rankings did not give Central the love that we gave 4 other schools. And they look like they're on a mission, not to mention their schedule's been screwed up because of weather and games have been, canceled. And Central, just how good are they right now? And do they have a chance to beat this Northwestern team that looks really good?
Yeah, they're playing really well. And they made mistakes last week. I ran into head coach Derek Gibson last night. He was at the New Orleans game. He said the thing is just we got to get out on the field and play, repetitive, game action. That's the whole thing. When you have a young team and you're putting kids in positions for the first time, you don't want to see them on the bench or see them, missing games. But to answer your question, I think they do. And I think anytime those two, and I know that, Stanford, Cal, Miami, Florida, when you have rivals like that, you seem to get up more. And I think that they understand that last year, if they didn't get, put on probation, they would have won it all, and they might have been one of the best teams in the country last year. So now they have an opportunity, to be, at 3-0, to go in next week. And then Northwestern picks up a forfeit, which is something really sad tonight. You look back at the Soul Bowl, Northwestern Jackson, that's been a marquee matchup.
Big crowds in the old days. Jeez.
One-sided of late, but still, it's a matchup. And this game was, and Jackson forfeited the game this year because they didn't have enough, players, I guess, to match up.
Jackson's gotten to that point, huh? Jeez.
It's sad. It's you know what, Joe, of everything that happens, especially in this day and age where you're looking for, some of that old time, things to bring you back to, when things are a lot easier and better. Then the game was canceled, and it was supposed to be played tonight, and certainly that picks up Northwestern another win heading into next Saturday. So Northwestern will have had almost 2 full weeks off going into that game, and then Central, like I said, will they have a bye week as well this week. And but to answer your question, I think Central's got a really good shot. It's going to be a really good game. 2 really, well-coached teams, a lot of talent on both sides. Northwestern may have the edge as far as talent, and marquee talent right now, but don't sell Central short. They came from behind against a really good Heritage team last week. And so we're right in that midst now of everybody trying to, trying to jockey for playoff position. And I know you're focusing on those top 5-6 teams.
I do want to hear from by week to week when teams can play and able to win or stay competitive. Who do you like as your top 5?
Well, St. Thomas is number 1. I don't foresee them losing the rest of the year. At all. I think they cruise into the playoffs. Last year they got pushed a little bit by Atlantic, who may push them again this year. That's a good for our people listening up in Delray Beach, and a big win for them last week. They beat New Orleans as well. I think they come in at 1, and Northwestern's right behind them at 2, and then you put Central, and then Chaminade at 4. Chaminade has Western tonight, not probably the game that would have been in the past years, but Chaminade's getting a position where, next week they got Monarch and they got St. Thomas coming up. So, and that's the great thing about this. these teams are not skirting one another.
No.
It's about time that everybody play one another. You don't have to guess, oh, is this team better than the next? And I know you and I have talked about that for years. You know, when is St. Thomas going to play Chaminade? When is Columbus going to play St. Thomas? And now they're coming. And my number 5 team is Miami Southridge. You know, they're still undefeated. You know, they still got to make up the game with Columbus. You know, they're in the third quarter and they're losing to Columbus 14-7 when they make that up on the 6th. But they come in at 5, and then got to give a little props to Dillard. They haven't lost. They're undefeated. They're 6-0. And then let's give Ice Harris and his team a lot of credit. They play tomorrow night for the district lead. They're undefeated at 5-0. They've got 3 straight shutouts. What an amazing deal. You know, you take over a program like that, and all of a sudden you thrust yourself into a state ranking, and really good football. And like I said, a lot of great football over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I want to ask you, who's the best team in the state right now? Somebody asked me to ask you. You watch it and know all the high schools. Is there one team you consider to be number 1 in the state, or is it between a couple?
It's still an unfair advantage because IMG Academy is the best team in the state, if you want to look at it like that, because they are a state team. They're not losing to many people. I mean, but you got to remember, Joe, when they get kids, they're the best of the best in the nation. They're not just, you know, oh, well, St. Thomas got a kid from Boca.
Well, that's why they're not allowed to play in the state championships. That's why.
Exactly. But they do play a lot of the games against the teams in the state. They play Venice, and they play a couple of other programs. But I'd say St. Thomas right now, if you want to look at that type of, you know, leaving them out, I think St. Thomas would be tough for any team to beat. And they've kind of proven it, especially when you have Northwestern and Central and Chaminade probably along with them as 4 of the top 5s in the teams in the state.
Good stuff today, Blue. Really appreciate it. And you have a good weekend and stay dry, my man. All right.
Thanks. We'll preview next week's Central game next week.
Yeah, can't wait, man. Good old Travis Powell will be jacked up with a lot of Dade County fans for sure for that one. Larry Bluestein, our South Florida high school sports insider, as always, joining us, and nice enough to be able to talk a little bit about some games today and everything going on. Oh, wow. Archbishop McCarthy beat Miami Norman. What's going on, man? That little private school down there off of Flamingo got real good. Jeez. Hey, I'll tell you who else can get real good and help you, and I want to tell you about Atlantic Men's Clinic. I had such great results. I'm talking firsthand on low T and ED, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not. My wife goes, will you stop talking? I go, no, I want to help guys. I want to help guys that are going through it, because every guy out there that is listening, whether you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, we have people in their 90s, men in 90s going there. You're getting low T for sure, and usually following it, check that. Always following it is ED. Man, if your energy level's not where it used to be and your sex drive is gone and been gone for a while, I don't know, for me, it just, I was a mess. I was like, what's going on? This stuff. I wasn't aware of all these things. I went to Atlantic Men's Clinic. I got all my testing done, the PSA test. I did like a year and a half ago. They put me on a program. I met with their professionals. We talked, openly about everything I'm feeling and what they're seeing. And they put me on a program that was perfect for me. Not for you, but for me. There's 7 locations in South Florida to serve you, so you have one close to you. They got a brand new one in Hollywood that's amazing. They're all first class, but it's about great results. It's about people policing your program to make sure you're getting the best results. 877-455-7300. You got to set up that first appointment. Go in and listen to them. Get your testing done. They're going to put you on a program. You're going to get great results. You're going to be happy. Now, I don't know about you, but I sure like being my age and being able to still get around and play tennis and walk and enjoy my evenings and my weekends a lot more than I used to. And my sex drive is back. And boy, I'll tell you what, boy, did I miss it, man. AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. It works this weekend. Make a call. Set up that first appointment. You'll be glad you did with Atlantic Men's Clinic. It works.
This update is brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. Doral VW just broke the rules of gravity. Prices are falling so fast, we're checking for a crater. Volkswagen's priced like they lost their minds. Doral VW, buckle up. No one sells for less. No one starting in the NFL. Week 4 began with Seattle beating Arizona 23-20. Week 4 will continue on Sunday. The Dolphins will host the Jets on Monday Night Football. Over to the Marlins, who fell to the Phillies 1-0. Miami will now head home for their final 3 games of the season against the Mets. Tonight's first pitch is at 7:10 from Lone Depot Park. On the ice, Panthers captain Alexander Barkov was helped off the ice after an apparent right leg injury. The Cats will continue the preseason when they host Carolina on Monday. And in college football, FSU will be in Charlottesville to play Virginia tonight. The Canes will play FSU a week from Saturday. The Joe Rose Show continues now.
15 minutes of Game Day Uncensored is brought to you by the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Get offers on select models now through September 2nd. Learn more at Lexus.com.
Tua Tagovailoa is making more than Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, Jaden Daniels. Am I pocket watching? No. I'm putting things into perspective here. Mm-hmm. What Biggie say? More money, more problems. Well, in this case, it should be more money, more expectations. When I see Tua Tagovailoa over this year alone, I've heard him more than I ever have. That's not to say you can't talk. Right. I like quiet Tua, Alabama Tua, chip on the shoulder Tua. Not is somebody going to come in and watch film. Hey, let's see what this is. Hey, I was this since I was that. Taking certain things. Man, bro. What you're being paid, what you're asked to do, what you have the capability of from one quarterback to the other, I look at a situation as like, bro, come on, dog. Especially when you got a Ferrari and a Lamborghini and other amenities that some quarterbacks wish they had.
How much do you think people who criticize and scrutinize your play do it not just from the film, but through the lens of your current contract? In your opinion, is that a factor?
I'm not too sure.
In other words, they don't just say Tua Tagovailoa threw an interception. They say threw an interception and he makes $53 million. You know what I mean? Because they do. They always say that. I heard Cam Newton say it the other day.
Well, anybody can play quarterback in this league. Then I mean, I want to see anybody on the streets come and play quarterback. I mean, Cam's doing his thing for sure, but you know, I think it's easier to be able to hold a clicker and talk about it that way, or talk about what someone else is doing wrong when you're not going out and having to do the same as them, right? So I think it's easy to do that. I think anybody can do that. I don't think anybody can play quarterback. So
you're right, Tua. There is a shortage of quarterbacks, and let's hope you're not one of them, my man. You need to play a lot better, period. Talking about Cam Newton going all in on Tua and his play, the former MVP who played in a Super Bowl, Cam Newton, talking about Tua and things that he doesn't like. He's got to play better. Tua's got to play better, and he did. By the way, we'll play it for you. We know he said it, and we'll have that for you. But 4 picks and 5 turnovers and 2 bad fourth quarter picks is not gonna get it done. And there's one way for all this to go away. You just need to play better. And it's not just you. Everybody understands run defense, pass rush, 0 takeaways, all the other things. But this is a great opportunity. Not that some of the physical problems are going to go away, like all of a sudden, you know, strong arms not going to help you, and because you don't have that. I mean, that's not where you are. Although you used to throw it a hell of a lot better than you're throwing it right now. You're not getting benched. Nope, you're not getting benched no matter what happens in this game. But there's a lot of stuff. The latest thing is, matter of fact, why we're on this is that Mike's overprotecting Tua with his game plan. 2 guys on national TV came on and it said, you know, they're so worried about him getting hit. They've shut down the offense. And I thought he's just more comfortable throwing all this short stuff that we did all last year, and we used to call it our run, is now Our run is just our short passing game because we're really good at it. It's a high percentage. And they did. They went through a few games there against bad teams and had great success with it. But hey, bottom line is Cam's right about one thing. Money is part of this thing. It just is, man. Being a first-round pick, it's just part of this thing. You either can play or you're a bust. That's what they do in every city when you're a high first-round pick or a first-round pick. And then you got a second contract. That changes the game too. You're part of the $50 million club. Everybody knows it. Joe Shad just read it to you. And you got to chuckle and you're right. None of us can play that. None of us can play it as well as you do. I know I can. But all this stuff, the money is part of it. And it's the good news, bad news. Congratulations. You got life-changing money coming in. Matter of fact, you got life-changing money when you're drafted in the first round with your signing bonus. Huge, big, fat check. And the team went all in on you. Again, I'm not blaming you. You got your money. You did a little, you weren't happy. They gave you the contract. It's there. But with that money comes higher expectations. And he did realize all that stuff. By the way, he did say, hey, I got to play better. I'm not playing well enough and all that stuff. But when you open up the second part of this thing and start saying that, this dumb thing about nobody else can play this position and it's not easy to play and all that stuff, everybody knows it's not easy to play.
Well, it came off like he was talking about Cam Newton too.
And then
Cam Newton didn't play the position at the highest level.
He did play at the highest level.
Tua will never sniff with that guy.
They don't hand out MVPs by accident. I think the MVP was the same year he went to Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
He was a hell of a player. Just took way too many hits.
Way too many hits. I mean, they had him running the ball from about 5 yards in. He became the third fullback running back because he's bigger than all the guys. They did not
manage him particularly well.
Yeah, and we saw him. We played against him. I think he ran for 80 or 90 yards against us and threw a couple of touchdowns. They were really good. And
by the way, he had a charisma to him too, man. Right? Like he had the whole quarterback package, which Tua lacks in charisma a lot, right? He's just not the kind of guy you're drawn to. Spends 10 minutes a week talking to you, and that's it. We won't see him again or hear from him again.
I know he's a bit of an introvert. Everybody's different. I get it that we're all different, and
he's just got to know better that you can't keep saying this stuff, especially when you're playing the way that you are.
Hey man, he did great on the first part. He got into it,
but no one cares.
And then he decided
they're not going to play that on ESPN this morning.
Go tell everybody that they can't play my business. You can't do what I do, and then. I don't know. He kind of went after Cam Newton. But listen, man, we got people. This is what you do. Like when you're a franchise quarterback, I can't say it enough. And I'm sure Tua knows this. I hope his wife even tells him when he goes home to play cards with her in video games at night. That, listen, honey, franchise quarterback, everybody knows, like, quarterback's the most important position in sports. There's a reason that we get all this money. There's a reason, like. And with that, if you don't play well, you get the other side of this. And trust me, everybody wants you to be good. Nobody wants to keep going through this quarterback thing, still trying to find a quarterback. And you've opened that conversation right back up. You've opened it right back up. And the other part is everybody knows you're making a lot of money again next year too. More, all that money's coming in.
I really love the game night shot, by the way. Thank you for doing that.
But it
warms my heart to hear you come to the dark side like that.
No, he's just got to
Those
play
comments
better.
weren't good either.
He got the Jets coming in town, man. Monday night. I know it's Monday night for the Jets too, and they're going to try to, win a frigging game. But
is this it for you?
This is really no. He's going to play. You know what? EJ Manuel said it too. He's going to play. He's going to continue to be the starting quarterback.
But here's the thing, though, Joe.
Why do you keep every game?
Because
you keep doing this and you sound stupid. Right. They're not benching a guy they gave all that money to after 4 games.
They may not.
They may
but
not.
If I got to keep hearing about
unless he gets hurt.
Mike is trying to protect this guy. Tua's talking about, I got injuries and I'm not the same guy I was at Alabama. And it's like, all right, well, at what point, do we see what else we have? Because clearly this guy is incredibly limited, right?
Woody,
and they're drawing up a limited offense around him. Like,
Woody,
what are we doing here?
Okay,
just to protect this guy?
So do you really believe that they're going to bench him after, let's say he does throw 2 interceptions in this game. You think they're going to bench him?
Do I believe they will or they should?
No. What do you think's going to happen?
No, I think they'll ride with him till the wheels fall off.
Exactly.
Which I think the wheels have already fallen off. So that's where you and I differ.
Well, you got a team you're playing that's got lots of problems. We just haven't talked about the Jets and Aaron Glenn. I mean, you want to talk about a guy just got here and they're going, yeah, he's never been a head coach before. I get it. And they're not happy the way he acts, the way things he's doing, and the team, they're going, it's the same Jets.
But to me, though, you have to look bigger picture, right? Like, if they beat the Jets, it's good, it's fine, like whatever. But you have to look bigger picture. Like, this is just not a good situation in general, right? When you're talking about the coaches protecting this guy and, we got to play a certain way because the guy's limited, like, that's never good.
So Mike is not saying that. Heard Mike's comments. Mike is saying he's got to make better decisions.
But it sure looks like they are, right?
It does.
I mean,
it does. It looks like our two guys that are 2 horses that should be racing a Gulfstream, looking like plow horses out where I live in Davie. Right across the way, there's plow horses out there. People ride occasionally. You see the kids on the back and mom and dad with them.
Plow horses, huh? Okay.
Well, that's how we're using them.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
You know, one of the best plays Tyreek made last game, caught it for about 5 yards and cut inside and ran up for another 4 or 5 yards for a first down. And I'm going, damn, that's where we are. That's where we are in Tyreek Hill. That's why I got to tell you, man, what he called him yesterday, a Ferrari, and I forgot what other name he went talking about his 2 receivers on the outside. But we'd like to get him. And the coach said there were some chances, and we just didn't get there. And listen, I'm guessing, even though Mike's super positive about everything, I'm sure he said at some point everybody's got to take an honest pill and go Tua. I'm sorry, this is not the Bills or the Eagles offensive line, or I'm trying to think of some of the Lions offensive line, or if you want to put somebody else in there, but it's not that bad. Like, you got to play better. Maybe I got to call some better plays for you, maybe, but you and I know.
When do we face reality though? When we say that, like, all right, he can't play better. This is it.
I don't think
this is the ceiling.
First of all, he got hurt 6 games last year.
Okay.
And when he
played, that's part of his whole deal, right?
Yes. Well, listen, I think that's what they're saying. Part of this is this team said, hey, they don't want to play with number 2 or number 3 they have in here. They were like the program I was on. Let's get to it for 19 games and see what happens. And so far we've had him for 3 and it just hasn't looked good. Again, it's not all him. There's not a lot of guys on the roster right now going around going, I don't know about you, but I'm playing well. Had damn right. I'm leaving early today.
Nobody wants to see the guy get hurt, obviously, Joe, but like the reality is you drafted him. He was hurt, right? Coming off a significant injury.
That's a different,
hasn't changed.
That's a different conversation then. That conversation should not be about him. That conversation should be about the guys that drafted him.
He also happens to be incredibly undersized. And the fact that he's not mobile.
So you just noticed that we're in year 6 and you're telling me stuff that everybody listening right now knows. He doesn't run well. He's not durable.
There's one guy or a couple guys that are defending him on here.
Who? Let me hear what somebody's saying that's defending him. I want to hear that. Go ahead.
Let's see here. So sick of Woody dogpiling all day long on the QB. Bad look on you.
Well, you want to like bench him and out of the whole thing. But anyway, give me another one.
This other guy that he's just been going on and on all morning.
Well, let me hear what he says. Like if he's fired up, what is it? I want to hear this because I see what I've seen. I want to hear what Blind Eyes
has said. You guys are taking a shot at someone who spends time with his family. There you go.
That's the best you can do with the quarterback?
Yeah, no, this guy's been going on all morning, though.
What else? What else does a family member have? Go ahead and give me some more stuff that this person has.
He was not paid the highest, neither did he demand the highest, just market value.
Right. Agree. Nobody's blaming him for getting the money. He got the money, but with the money, people are going to talk about what you make.
He went on to basically say, I hope one day folks covering these players are held to the same standard. Talking about the Tua, being the franchise quarterback. And I tried to explain, I wrote back, I tried to explain that, like, people are going to talk about sports. They're not franchise quarterbacks. Right.
But,
like you talk about held to the same standard.
But they made a decision when they signed him. They said, they told Mr. Ross, they told Tom Garfinkel, he is a franchise quarterback. By the way, the other thing Cam Newton said is, you heard it, like, he got some pretty damn good weapons. A lot of other NFL teams would love to have those dudes. Anyway.
Everything you're saying on Tua is right. Those fans are in denial. I agree, by the way.
All right.
If you're defending this guy at this point, it's just like,
there's just not, like, he didn't defend himself. He said, I got to play better. We'll come back and play what he said. Yeah. And then the people that are still, like, thinking that we're
he's got a fan base still, though, right?
Yes.
Maybe these people bought a bunch of Tua cards and they're hoping he turns it around.
I see a lot of Tua kids and cards. Hey, right now I want to tell you about Michael Kachchuck at Choice Mortgage for just a second here, man. Boy, this guy truly has no life. He is always working. This guy is working 7 days a week to make sure you get a mortgage that you need. And he wants to make sure you get the lowest rates, right? By the way, fixed rates in the 5s right now. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, you need to get pre-approved quickly so you can get back in the game to get that first home. He can do that for you quickly, even on a weekend. He's getting that paperwork done. Self-employed, been declined by the banks. Michael Kachchuck at Choice Mortgage got a great program for you. You can just go through all the things that he's doing. One of the hottest ones in South Florida right now, it's a program for seniors 62 and older. You can convert your home equity into money. Now, we know how it works. I know I've been in the same house for 20-something years, and you get it paid off, and you got all that equity, and then you're going, hey, honey, we could use this. We're getting close to retirement. Let's grab it. Michael Kachchuck at Choice Mortgage, the guy to go to, man. Get it done about half the time of the banks. Go to Google reviews on the web, Choice Mortgage reviews. Find out what they're saying about Michael Kachchuck at Choice Mortgage in his 30 years of experience. He's always working 7 days a week. Call or text him. 561-441-2730, MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender.
10
far this season. How would you describe how it's gone, how you've played?
How I've played? I haven't played anywhere near the standard that I've played in years past, and knowing the standard that I can play to. And it starts with me, with the offense, getting our guys going, and then the defense being able to feed off of that as well, right? So, yeah, I wouldn't say I've been playing my best football yet. I think as I look back at Alabama, and then as I was getting ready to come to the NFL, I think one of the biggest changes and differences that I felt would have been some of the surgeries that I've had, that I can kind of feel some of the residuals within my ankles. I was running a little different when I was at Alabama, and it's just not the same. And that, I think that's normal given the surgeries and everything that comes with the sport, right?
All right, that was Tua when asked. Was that Joe Shad asking all the questions yesterday? Did Joe Shad just Palm Beach Post? Can't get up early.
Sounded like it, yeah.
Yeah. Just
what were you gonna say?
Nothing. It was a shot. I wasn't going to.
God, sorry to interrupt.
Nobody
go ahead.
Nobody safe.
Oh, it's a bloodbath. Getting ugly out here.
No, nobody's safe today. Nobody.
Hey, man, this is what happens when you lose for 25 years. People get angry.
So,
I mean,
I just had a former player.
Uh-oh. You want to say who?
No, he's a friend. I don't throw those guys under the bus. It's like
that's true. You don't.
So I always say this about my guys. They're like, when I get going on the 80s, they're going, "Hey, you mind? Can you leave me out when you're doing that stuff and talking about the dumbass stuff you did, and that we were with you? Can you leave our names out of it, please? We have kids and grandkids." And I go, "Yeah, of course, of course I can. I can be a dumbass by myself. I don't need any help." So they brought up his comments before the Buffalo Bills game, like taking Josh Allen, like, stop. Oh my God, he's a lot better than I am. I'm not half of what he can do, throwing it, running it. And it's true, but you don't need to say it. You talk about that when you're done and you're doing one of these shows that are out there, the zillion shows that out there. I don't care what anybody says, man. Money is part of this thing and will be. And if your money, especially when you're making a lot, fans, we by the way, I don't remember it. See, and this is the biggest thing for me, I remember growing up and got everything. And again, it was just newspaper back then. We didn't have all the other stuff and a little radio. Growing up with KMBR as a kid, and we listened to it all the time. I don't remember the newspaper or KMBR ever going, well, Willie Mays not playing as well as he used to, still the highest paid player. I don't remember that. Now we can hardly talk about our athletes without, we talk about salary cap in here. Who's hurting the salary cap? And by the way, you think Tyreek Hill wants to hear Tua complain about the money? Like he's another guy. He got to hear about his contract all the time. It is part of it. And listen, I always say this. There's two parts. I'll say it every day. Congratulations, you were drafted high by the Miami Dolphins in the first round to be a franchise quarterback. Congratulations, before you ever play it down, you get a super, $25, $30 million signing bonus, a high first-round pick. Congratulations. That just changed your life before you play one down in the regular season. You got that money. Most of the guys take it up front. Some will defer it out. But that money's coming. Your life changes. And then if you're good enough and he hit the year, he played every game, put up good numbers. I didn't think to write them down. And that got him a contract. The coach and the GM went all in and sold the owner. This is the guy. This is our franchise quarterback. We've got it figured out. And then we get it, and he goes down for another 6 games with a concussion and hip. Some of that was hip, to be fair. It was out for the end of the year, was towards the hip. Comes back this year, and I don't know who he is. Anybody honest, whether you love Tua, obviously the others, I know how you feel. but he just doesn't look like the same guy. And it just gets old. It really gets old. And you go, well, he still doesn't have the offensive line. How much more? What else you want to do? We drafted a guard, and our top paid free agent is a guard. Injured after a few plays, but like you still got to be able. Baker Mayfield was a great example the other day. Baker Mayfield had the whole freaking offensive line out, and he's running around making plays at the end of the game to come back and win that game. His third comeback win. But they're going to talk about it, man. You did get paid a lot of guaranteed money, and you got a big contract. People are going to talk about it. You're a franchise quarterback.
I think you can't compare him to Baker Mayfield, though, man. Baker Mayfield's a football player.
No, I was just talking.
But the guy's a gamer.
I was talking about the example of offensive lineman being out, and he still made it work, running and throwing, and
but that's the difference right there, right? Guys go out of the game. Guys are missing the game. Whatever. He goes out and he makes his best attempt. Like, he's not the greatest quarterback, but he makes attempts to make plays. Run a guy over once in a while.
I don't need a guy to run a guy over.
I know, but it fires people up. It just shows Baker
All right,
Mayfield's
tough
a football
guy.
player.
I love you. Now you're a tough guy, like the Josh Allen deal, the run over a guy.
I do like the Josh Allen stuff.
Well,
yeah.
Tua's not run over anybody.
No, he's
not. We're hoping he
last
just
time
keeps
he tried
sliding.
to run. Yeah, last time he tried to run over.
No, he
someone.
slid. He slid for a first game in the last game, first down in the last game. That was fine. But he's got to play better. Like, no matter what, we sit here and we can sit and argue about this for another 5 years. You got to play better, man. I get the whole scenario around you. You're getting paid this year and next year a lot of money, and it's guaranteed. So I don't think you're going anywhere. So just play better. I think Mike McDaniel is pulling his hair out, trying to do everything possible to give Tua a chance to, number one, stay healthy, and number two, be productive. And I'm guessing he gets as frustrated privately as we do. And he's the most, let me tell you something, Mike McDaniel's the most positive dude in the history of of coaches for the Miami Dolphins. Like, that guy, now I don't know if privately he's that way, but when he comes out like, oh, he's doing 99% of the things right now. Mike, that 1%, that must be okay.
Nothing wrong with being positive.
No, listen, I told you, I'd love that too. I'd love that. I'd love to know.
You guys would have, won a lot less games probably, but
I don't know. I don't know about that. I didn't need all that old school stuff.
Some of it seems a little mean. The film sessions sound a little vicious, but
I told you the most humiliating thing can ever be done for anybody in their job.
Yeah.
I wish they do it here. I wish our boss, because I've had it done to me, I wish she'd call everybody up and call individuals out, like for things. It would just be great to see the look when you are publicly called out, like 60 people standing around in a room, and you're going, hey, Joe Rose, it's not acceptable, and started calling me out for things that I've done in front of everybody, because now you do it privately with HR in the room.
So you think that should be the standard practice?
No, I don't like that. I didn't like it. I told you I hate it.
Okay. But you just want it here because of the people you dislike.
No, I just think I just want to see everybody's face when it happens. Because a lot of people just quit. They're going, you're not talking to me. You know what? For what I've done for this that's a Todd. For what I've done for this company.
Nobody is safe this morning. Huh?
Nobody's safe.
Yeah. Let it all out Friday here.
Oh, man. It is funny, though. People go, hey, and things you think of. And like when I used to, accountability was so big with Don Shula. Like, I mean, play to play. Like, he didn't miss anything. He did not miss anything. And just the fact of how he wanted to get the message across. But getting called out in front of other guys is just, can you imagine? Like, hey, how are we supposed to win? You're a number one receiver. You dropped 2 footballs right in your hands. He wants to catch it for you too?
You guys also had better players, so that helped. But
don't sit there on the other side.
You did. You had better players.
Go through the roster.
You know you had good teams.
We did. We had guys who didn't like it, and they didn't have the choices they have today, obviously.
Yeah.
They couldn't go out and call their agent because Shoes wasn't dealing with any agents either.
Forced their way out.
I'm not talking to your agent anyway. If I got a problem, I'm not going to your agent. Come here. But my agent would like to talk to you. Good. Tell him to call me in the offseason. I'm going to be an autograph sign. He can show up in line. All right, man. We got a lot more stuff.
Feel better now?
I feel better now.
Good.
Now. I do. It's just every week it's something. So now the shows are all taking off on this stuff with Tua.
They're just going to take that one clip. They're not going to listen to any of the other
stuff. But last
stuff,
week, think about this.
Good.
Last week it was the Josh Allen thing. And
that was not a good comment. It was a really dumb thing to say.
Well,
and to go back to, like, you're talking about your good teams that you played on. I could only imagine your quarterback going up to the podium and be like, I just can't do what that guy does. That, to be honest, is part of the bigger overall problem, right?
I think it's just
do you think your guy would have done that? Not to throw him into this conversation, but
Dan Marino may still think right now, wherever he is, he's still a top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now. Dan Marino could be driving in a car right now going, I think I'm better than every quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. Like, seriously.
He might be able to throw the ball further.
It's not. No, that's not. He's an old guy.
If they both lined up, who could throw the ball farther right now?
He can't. Tua by far. That's a dumb thing. See,
really?
You get on this thing because you just, no. Dan Marino's getting old. He's getting ready for Social Security. Not that he needs it, but getting ready for it. Anyway, by
the way, that'd be a fun little competition. You imagine they did that? See who can throw the ball farther right now.
My point is, none of those guys, Don Strocker and none of those guys are going, man, that guy, hey guys, I got to tell you, that guy's a hell of a lot. I wish I didn't have to play today. That guy's a hell of a lot better than I am.
That was not a good comment.
I don't know where this stuff comes from. Like, is there lack of awareness of, like,
it comes from the fact that he's just not overall a franchise quarterback. He doesn't fit the whole.
I'm damn good. No, he said he was good. He said he's not playing like he used to, but he's hopefully going to get it back Monday night.
Just goes to the whole, like, personality of, like, Josh Allen or any of those other guys. Like, it's just not.
That's a bad example.
Just don't say
Can
that
you stop
kind of
with
stuff.
Josh Allen. You know who we got next home game after this? You know who's coming to town? You think this stuff's going away? Justin Herbert's coming to town.
He's good.
A couple weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
He throw the ball far.
Yes, he can. All right, we got more stuff to get to here this morning as we continue on here. Xavier Howard. I'm blaming Xavier Howard for all this. The panic. What did he say? Panic mode?
He did. Yeah. By the way, he's not so far off. Like, if you watch the games, he's not like.
I know. I knew you
when
were
the first read's
that.
Not there.
Yeah. Then it's. Then what? Then what are you going to do? Right.
You watch the games.
First read's not there. You're getting ready to throw that anticipation throw, and you're going, "Uh-oh, it's not there. What's next?
I got to get rid of this ball, or my career could be over."
Well, by the way, nobody's talked about that. It's the first time somebody brought up the concussion thing. That's probably a little piece of this too that nobody wants.
A little piece. That
they've told him so much. We need to stay healthy and not think about concussions. What do you think about?
I mean, as much as we rag on the guy, I don't want him to get hurt. It's definitely you hold your breath when he takes a hit, man.
I'm done with you. You want to bench everybody after every game. And
hey, man, it's not just me. I like these.
I don't care.
I like these people in our video chat.
It's not.
These people get it.
So you know what's funny about you? You work off them instead of your own opinion because you don't like when people go after your sorry little ass. Hey, right now we got more stuff to get to here, man. We're not even close to being done as we continue on. I do want to tell you this weekend, make sure you get out to your South Florida Chevy dealers. It is truck month here. Got a little time left, and we got great deals, and you got a Chevy dealer near you. It's a great combination. with fantastic deals, and we got dependable pickup trucks that you will absolutely love. Let's start with that durable Colorado with its standard turbo max engine and impressive torque. Got everything you need right here in South Florida. Enjoy yourself. Silverado 1500s, always ready, steady, and strong. From, I always like to say, a workday workhorse to a weekend warrior. You can't go wrong. Silverado HDs, again, legendary horsepower. One of the hardest working beds in the business. So, hey, whether it's a midsize, full-size, or heavy-duty truck, we got a truck absolutely perfect for your lifestyle and ready for you. And for you people out there that make a living with your truck, that's how you do it. 5, check that. 6, 7 days a week, because you're always working, man. The money's important, and you get it while you can. We got a truck to work with you. See your South Florida Chevy dealers today for outstanding offers going on right now. Man, I am ready.
All right, Marlins.
Who would have thought the last 3 games of the regular season are the biggest games of this year for this Marlins team? Seriously.
How about those Mets? Overpaid and underperforming. Where have we heard
Got
that
to knock them
before?
out. Got to knock them out. We want to make sure they're sitting at home. Let the Reds have that last spot.
That would be cool. That would be cool. All right, we'll go caller number 3. There's 3 games left for the Marlins here. We'll go caller number 3, 305-567-0560. Beer Fest on Saturday, by the way. We'll get you into Beer Fest.
Have all you want. Just get, somebody to drive you and enjoy yourself, or Uber or something.
Well, now you can pay cash in your Uber, right? Aren't you happy about that?
Yeah.
Big advancement, yeah.
Big crowds for those games.
I would think, yeah.
It's going to be Mets crowd, but it's going to be big
okay.
crowds. They're going to be, let's go Mets and get in the playoffs. Anything can happen. And
just don't talk to any of them.
Anyway, you got 3 games coming up for the Marlins at the end of the year, and they can play spoiler for the Mets, who have a 1-game lead on the Cincinnati Reds. Reds are kind of a likable team, right? Used to be the big red machine, but that was a lot of people haven't even heard of them. A long time ago with that team. Hey, by the way, Ryder Cup, we haven't been talking about it. It's been on for a couple hours. I've been a little busy. I haven't even had a chance to check in, but I will all day. As this fun, man. Started at 7:00 this morning. DeChambeau and Justin Thomas kicking things off. Scotty Scheffler with the second group. And then on top of all of that, we got tonight, Florida State. I know a lot of Canes fans will be watching Florida State. Like, all right, want to see how good they are. Saw a lot of that Alabama game. They look real good. You're going, holy crap. They play like that. They got a shot in this ACC. So we'll see. They go on the road to Virginia tonight. Canes will following weekend will be in Tallahassee. So get an idea what Tommy Castellanos and those guys look like. New quarterback who's not lacking confidence at quarterback for Florida State. So we got a lot of stuff going on. I don't know about for all of you out there. I think he gets pretty good ratings actually, but the Ryder Cup is it's a great event. And then we got the news about Barkov, and hopefully it's good news. God, there's nothing worse, man. I knew when Kachchuck got the surgery later in the offseason, I think he got married, done a bunch of stuff, and we see him everywhere. He's become kind of the face of South Florida, to be honest. And so he's going to be out a while, but they know they're going to have him later in the year. But losing Barkov, oh, God. I'm not ranking the importance. We got a core of guys that are all really important. But, boy, I'm guessing one guy you would not want to lose is Alexander Barkov. And I'm not ranking him. I don't want you to rank him with Reinhardt and Big Bob and all the rest of them, your favorite guy. But Barkov, jeez, that would be a blow to this team that is loaded, got everybody back, and to think that Barkov, who seems, just been there so long, played so many games, to get injured in the first day of it was first day of team practice, I think is what, if I'm not mistaken, they did individual practices for a week with their core of veterans. Anyway.
Well, real quick, Joe, congrats to Kandim from Miramar. He's got the tickets here. So if you're trying, we are all out.
You didn't ask him who he's
rooting for?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You don't do that.
No.
We don't care, man. Hey, I'm not from here.
I think that's against the contest.
A lot
rules.
of people not from here. I mean, we're made people. We hope we switch you over to a team here, or we give you a reason to switch you over to a team here in South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Jump on the bandwagon, starting with the youngsters, working up. A lot of youngsters do. Your dad's team is your team. You see it all the time, right? I share with my dad. It never goes away. He's talking about guys with San Francisco Giants just got called up. I have no friggin' idea who they are. And I go, oh, Dad, what round was he taking?
But you grew up out there, so that's why you. I think my dad came from he's from Long Island, like I told you, but he started rooting for all the teams down here because we were down here. Get his kids down here.
My dad was here a week when he came back after I lost my mother. He came out for a week. And he was Jones, and I literally was buying packages so he could watch games.
Yeah.
He didn't want to watch the games here. He wanted to watch his teams.
But if you live in a place and you have kids, it's good to have a local team to root for.
Yeah. But, doesn't always work that way, man. Hey,
I know.
We got 9 o'clock hour coming up here. As we continue on, boy,
how's it going in there? Everything okay?
Has it been no,
it hasn't
it's not.
been. It
Actually,
hasn't been great today. No,
it's been a bloodbath. It's been bloodbath Friday. Been a little.
Imagine
rough.
what Tuesday will look like if they lose on Monday night.
It'll be a bad one.
You need to come in.
Do I come in usually?
You do.
Okay. Then.
Face the music.
I face the music. I didn't play.
Yeah,
I always love when people go, "You got to face the music." I go, "I didn't play."
It's partially your fault, though.
Nothing's my fault. I haven't made a decision with that team, nor have they listened to me when I do. Hell, they don't listen to a lot of people.
You're close enough, though, where you can take some of the blame.
Okay.
You are, man. I mean, like,
if that makes you feel better sitting on your friggin' couch with the two kids. Then
with my clicker? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Tua.
All right. Hey, yeah.
That's what
When's
I
the last time
you
threw one in the pocket,
I
jerky?
sit on the couch and I eat chips and I watch the game.
Oh, he did that one too.
Yeah.
The chips.
Okay.
Oh man, you don't forget anything. Boy, I tell you what. Go ahead. We're gonna go through the best of Tua.
Oh, he could have a greatest hits record. Yeah.
Miserable dude. You really are. Hey,
let's see
tell you who's not miserable.
Tuesday.
Chapman. We're coming back with a win. 1-3, going for 2-3 in Carolina.
By the way, we're doing your picks coming up here. You're on fire.
Yeah.
You're making a lot of people a lot of money.
That's what I do.
They're riding with you right now.
If they are, they're not very smart. I don't think they are. Hey, I do want to tell you about Chapman Partnership for just a minute here. Boy, an organization I feel really good about, and I know you will too. Chapman Partnership is a rehabilitation for the homeless. It really is. I could call it a 1,000 things, and I know what you think. Oh, what, they go grab a bite to eat, and then they're back out on the streets all night, and no, man. It's so much more. It's so much more than housing and a warm meal. First of all, the homeless stay there, and they're changing lives daily. They keep them in there. They put them through a lot of great programs. It's providing caring support and wraparound services that Chapman Partnership offers and has been for the last 30 years. 30 years of hope for over 3 decades. Chapman has assisted over 145,000 individuals and families to overcome self-sufficiency. And here in 2025, we want to celebrate and support their mission. It's growing. We got more people there. We got more great services that we're offering to help people find a job, find a place to live with the doctors that come in. By the way, I got a great story here. A lot of the doctors donate their own time to be involved and help the homeless. It's good, man. It's nice to know people don't always have to get paid to show up and do great things. And that's part of Chapman Partnership. Bam Adebayo, you are a superstar for what you've done with Chapman Partnership, the time and the money you spend. Any level of support is impactful. Let's help support families and individuals overcoming homelessness at Chapman here in 2025. Go online to chapmanpartnership.org. Anything you can give will make a difference for Chapman Partnership. Thank you.
Sport.
This update is brought to you by Doral. Volkswagen Doral VW just broke the rules of gravity. Prices are falling so fast. We're checking for a crater. Volkswagen's priced like they lost their minds. Doral VW, buckle up. No one sells for less. No one starting in the NFL. Week 4 began with Seattle beating Arizona 23-20. Week 4 continues on Sunday. The Dolphins will host the Jets on Monday Night Football. Over to the Marlins, who fell to the Phillies 1-0. Miami now head home for their final 3 games of the season against the Mets. Tonight's first pitch is at 7:10 from Lone Depot Park. On the ice, Panthers captain Alexander Barkov was helped off after an apparent right leg injury. The Cats will continue the preseason when they host Carolina on Monday. And in college football, FSU will be in Charlottesville to play Virginia tonight. The Canes will play FSU a week from Saturday. The Joe Rose Show continues now.
A little taste of some of these big guys coming out hitting them. Like, all right, you think you're going to run around our guy? How about if you get a little taste of Landon Dickerson coming right down your throat?
The throw to Ayuk inside, touchdown. Samuel leading the way. Ayuk comes inside of him.
I just got to dance for a second. I know you can't see it.
They can see it, actually.
All right. Hey,
we're on the YouTube
welcome
channel.
back.
We want to promote that. They
No.
want to see you dance.
No, I don't. I don't want anybody to have to see my ugly, ugly mug made for radio. Hey, so anyway, happy Friday to everybody. Hour left. It is the best hour because it's the last hour we have this week. And got the weekend off. Boy, keep forgetting we got a Monday Night Football game. The Jets in town. Get to see my guys.
Speaking of which, you ready for – you made a lot of people a lot of money here.
All right, go ahead. How many games you hitting me with? Don't hit me with a lot of games.
What was his record last? What did he do last
10-5, but let's who's keeping track. Go ahead.
Wow. Look at that.
10-5 last week. He's 25-18 on the season.
I mean, I'm making you a little bit of money. I got to do a better job in Vegas, but go ahead.
I am curious what you think of this game tonight. FSU's the line moved up to 7.5. Virginia. I think Virginia wins.
This is with my heart. I want Florida State to win it, so I'm going with Florida State.
With your heart or your wallet?
No, just heart. No wallet.
Okay.
It's not a wallet special. No.
No, so you have spent.
This is not a Hard Rock app special I just did. It's from the heart. I want both teams undefeated in Tallahassee. Just me. I know Canes fans are going, no, you're not a Canes guy. I'm not.
All right, let's rock and roll here, man. We got Steelers and Vikings, 9:30 in the morning on Sunday. They're playing at Croke Park in Dublin, Ireland. Minnesota favored by 2.5.
Minnesota.
Really?
Not an Aaron Rodgers guy. He went to Cal. Don't like him.
Okay.
I have no reason. Like, it's probably going to be a great game. Go ahead.
All right. Falcons and Commanders. You want to skip that one? That's kind of a boring game.
Yeah.
Bills and Saints. Let's skip.
Yeah.
Huge spread there, 15.5 points. Lions and Browns. Detroit's favored by 9.5. The Browns just beat the Packers. The
Where's that
Detroit.
Game? Oh, Lions big.
Okay.
If there's this man named Dan Campbell that will run it up on you, he doesn't care who's on the other side. If he gets a chance, including what he does to his former coordinators, what do you think? Big. Lions big.
Patriots hosting the Panthers. Both these teams at 1-2. New England is 0-2 at home. Panthers are 0-2 on the road. New England is favored by 5.5. What a game.
Oh, New England just literally won the game and lost it because they turned it over 5 times. I mean, it's embarrassing. They were so bad turn. That can't happen again. I'm going to go with New England.
All right. Chargers and Giants. The game is in New Jersey. Chargers are favored by 6.5. Jackson Dart starting for
the
Giants.
Thank you.
No film on him yet. So.
No, I'm going Chargers.
Okay.
There will be some throws that are made that he has not seen before in coverages.
I understand. Can't be worse than Russell Wilson, though. It's actually impossible.
I'm starting to think it's a system.
Bucks hosting the Eagles. This should be a good game here. From Tampa. Philly favored by 3.5. Both these teams are 3-0.
I'm going with the Eagles this Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Mike Evans got a little banged up that
He's
last
done.
game.
He's
too.
out for a month.
So,
yeah, hamstring.
Yep. So they're going to rely on that rookie pretty heavily there.
Godwin's coming back too.
Oh, he says Godwin's coming back.
Yeah.
All right.
Party's
Let's go
over.
to Texans and Titans, another battle of 0-3s. Game's in Houston. Houston's favored by 7.5.
Oh, man. I'm going to go Texans.
Okay. Rams and Colts. The Colts
That's a
are
good one.
3-0. They're hitting the road here.
Yeah.
To Cali to play this one. The Rams are favored by 3.5.
Party's over. Rams going to take that game. Colts come back down to earth.
Niners and Jaguars. We're getting into the later games here, by the way. Niners and Jaguars from Santa Clara. Niners are favored by 3.5. No Purdy. Looks like no Purdy.
I'm going to go. They are going to get Purdy with whoever's quarterback, and I'm going to go San Fran.
Okay.
Or
Mac
Santa
Jones,
Clara.
right?
Yeah. Did he limped off? I think he's okay.
You're just not buying a Trevor Lawrence thing. Trevor Lawrence, by the way, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Pretty good. Chiefs and Ravens. Both teams have 1 win.
That's weird, huh? It's crazy.
The losers' games have a dicey time getting to the playoffs, by the way, at 1-3. But that game's at 4:25. It's from Arrowhead. Baltimore favored by 2.5.
I'm going Ravens big.
You gonna ride the big fumbling horse?
Yep. You can't give up on him now. He's too good.
I don't know. The big horse been fumbling all over the place.
He has. He's got 3 of them.
All right. They stuck us with Raiders and Bears in that 4:25 window, too, from Vegas. Vegas favored by 1.5.
Raiders and Bears. I'm going Bears.
And then Sunday night, Cowboys hosting the Packers. Green Bay is favored by 6.5.
Oh, Pack's gonna.
They're gonna crush them, aren't they?
They're gonna do it for their new teammate.
Yeah. Kind of with you on that one.
Yeah.
Packers coming off that bad loss, by the way.
You gonna ask me about anything else? You good?
What else do you want to get asked about?
No, I'll be here Monday morning.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say we don't do the Monday
we'll
games on Friday, bro. Come on.
All right, listen, we've got.
By the way, I know you're gonna pick, so it doesn't even matter.
You're right. Matter of fact, I'll just give you the next 2. We're gonna be 2-3. We're gonna be 2-3 in 1 week. A matter of 1 week, we're going 2-3. You want to bet? You want to bet a lunch on that? You want to bet a lunch on that?
You don't think they're going to beat the Chargers?
You don't pay your bill every time I beat you in a bet. You don't pay anyway. But you want to go? You want to go for a lunch on that they win their next?
That they win the next 2.
Yeah.
Then I have to root against the Dolphins though. But I'll take you up on it. Can we go to Bo's place?
I'll take you to Bo's place. Not your wife. Don't try to double up on me. Just me and you going there.
Can we bring Monroe?
No, because last time we did this, I ended up with like.
That was Vlad who did that to you.
Damn, Bill got up to like $1,000 friggin' dollars. I didn't see anybody offering a tip either. All right, we got to go to break here. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk's going to join us. Get ready, man. Get ready. Mike is on fire. Hey, right now, though, something else we need to talk about. Hurricane season is still rolling. Protect your home with Loctite Impact windows, doors, and roofing. You got that old leaky roof. Replace your old roof now and pay later. Part of what Loctite Impact windows, doors, and roofing have been doing. They're really good at what they do, and they're going to help you. Loctite Impact offers the highest quality roofing materials with lifetime warranty plus thousands of 5-star reviews. Save big on their legendary state-of-the-art Impact windows and doors. Impact windows as low as $6 per window per month installed. Don't wait for the next storm. Visit LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com. Or you can call 954-500-LOCK. They're in the office right now, and they got a staff of people that can help you answer all your questions and get the whole process started. Very competitive with their bids and covering all of South Florida. They do it all for you. Hey, they're so good at what they do. It's not only about Impact windows and doors, it's about the roof as well. Loctite Impact windows, doors, and roofing.
Sports.
play, do it not just from the film, but through the lens of your current contract. In your opinion, is that a factor?
I'm not too sure.
In other words, they don't just say Tua Tagovailoa threw an interception. They say he threw an interception and he makes $53 million. You know what I mean? Because they do. They always say that. I heard Cam Newton say it the other day.
Well, anybody can play quarterback in this league. Then I mean, I want to see anybody on the streets come and play quarterback. I mean, Cam's doing his thing for sure, but you know, I think it's easier to be able to hold a clicker and talk about it that way, or talk about what someone else is doing wrong when you're not going out and having to do the same as them, right? So I think it's easy to do that. I think anybody can do that. I don't think anybody can play quarterback. So
Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa there. It's time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com.
All right, Woody, thank you. And Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk joins us this morning. Mike, as you can imagine, it's been a little bit of a bloodbath this morning, considering Tua has not played well the first three games. And yesterday was asked a lot of different questions. He did own up to the fact that he hasn't played well, but then got in on the Cam Newton stuff. What'd you think?
Does he know that Cam Newton was the NFL MVP in 2015 and that he played quarterback? I mean, I'm confused. I understand that his observation would apply to someone like me, but if Cam Newton's criticizing him, Cam Newton has played quarterback at a high level. I would think that even if he's not involved in the meetings and the game planning and the coaching, he has some authority when it comes to diagnosing what is and isn't going wrong with Tua Tagovailoa. And, you know, the bottom line is this, and Joe, I can't put it any more simply than this. It's all relative to the contract he's getting. And if you were to give Stephen Ross truth serum right now, or not even that, if some way, somehow, Stephen Ross were able to get a mulligan on the contract that was given to Tua Tagovailoa last year, don't we know that he wouldn't have done it?
In a heartbeat.
I mean, isn't it obvious he wouldn't have done it?
Yes. No question about it. Yes. You're right. Look, he's not even close to what he was in 2023 right now for whatever reason that, you know, that's going on. I think teams trying everything possible to put together something so he can get going in the right direction and finish these games. Because, Mike, I don't think he's going anywhere. He's full contract again, fully guaranteed contract again next year as well.
That's the problem, Joe. When you look back at what was going on in early 2024, and this is what dysfunctional teams do, they make decisions aimed at justifying their past decisions. So we made Tua our future franchise quarterback as the 5th overall pick in the 2020 draft. He's played well enough. Entering 2024, where do we stand? Well, here's where we are. He's got a 5th-year option that pays $23.171 million. Okay, we can let that ride, and we can make a decision next year. And if we have to franchise tag him, we can franchise tag him. Instead, they gave him a contract that gave him $147 million fully guaranteed over 3 years. Fully guaranteed for 3 years. Teams don't like to fully guarantee beyond the first year. They'll do it for quarterback. Most teams want to do it for 2 years. What had Tua Tagovailoa done in the first 4 years of his career to justify 3 years of fully guaranteed cash, especially based on his injury history? Like, this is, and I think it's fair to be critical of this because Dolphins are the ones that decided to do this. Chris Greer is the one that negotiated it, and Stephen Ross is the one that signed off on it. What the hell were they thinking, making that kind of a commitment where their hands are tied financially to Tua Tagovailoa through next year? They can't get out of it. They don't have to play him, but they got to pay him next year. And at the time, I know Chris and I on PFT Live were like, who are they bidding against when they pay him $147 million over 3 years fully guaranteed? Like, he's not on the market. This isn't something he did to keep another team from signing him. They had no competitors. They could have let 2024 play out and then make a decision after the season as to what they were going to do. I think that it's one of the worst contracts we've seen in recent years.
You know, I wanted to add to this too. Like, yes, part of sports now, especially when you're a franchise player, we know what everybody makes now. It's the new world we live in. We know first-round picks in the NFL get a big signing bonus up front and a low base salary for the first few years, but they get a lot of money before they take that first snap. It is just part of the deal, man. I don't remember when I was a kid, remember what Willie Mays made. I don't remember any of that, but I know now every fan out there knows on the cap what everybody's making, what their money counts against for the following year, dead money. I mean, it's a different world for everybody. So, yeah, the money is part of it, and how you play to earn it is part of the deal. It just is. You agree, right?
It's like anything else. What am I getting for what I paid for? And when you have a firm cap, in theory, there's only so many dollars to spend. If you're paying, and the contract was sold as a $53 million contract, it's really $47.1 on a 5-year deal. The new money average is what always gets leaked by the agents because it's always a bigger number than the true value. But still, $47 million from signing on a 5-year deal, I mean, that's better than Deshaun Watson's contract. The only difference is 3 years are guaranteed instead of 5. But the damage is done based upon the first 3 years. They're already at the point where the Browns were after a couple of years, where they would have escaped that contract if they could. And I think anybody of sound mind and basic common sense would agree that Stephen Ross would go back in time and get rid of that contract if he could. And that just tells us it was a mistake of a contract. And it does go with the territory. The only good thing is, you know, when you roll the dice on a draft pick now, you don't make an excessive financial investment there. You can't, in the past years, couldn't control that. That was all determined by just the way contracts were negotiated. You can control the second contract. So if you pay a guy too much money on a second contract, that's on you.
Hey, real quickly, too, on this topic, Aaron Glenn and the Jets got their own problems. Wow. He's getting a ton of heat as well. What's your take on the Jets and what you've seen here through the first 3 games for them?
Well, you know, they could have won week 1 against the Steelers. It took an incredible performance by Aaron Rodgers and a 60-yard field goal from Chris Boswell.
That's true.
To deliver the victory. The running game has disappeared the past 2 weeks. I didn't understand the extent of the celebration after the blocked field goal and the return because there was way too much time left. A minute 49, when all it takes is a field goal to beat you, that is not time to exhale. You know, we saw this last night, Joe. The game has changed now that we have this revised kickoff. This is one of the unintended consequences of the new kickoff formation. Late game strategies are changing before our eyes, and these early season games are the guinea pig. And I would suspect that in every facility today, there's going to be a coaches meeting, if not a players meeting with coaches going over what happened last night between Arizona and Seattle, because Arizona left too much time, and 28 seconds is too much time when a field goal beats you, because you may get the ball at the 40 or the 35 or have a long return. All you need is a 20-yard completion and you're in field goal range. You don't need 2 minutes. And the Buccaneers had 149. So I thought all of that was kind of premature. And I know when you're the Jets and you're used to losing and you'll take anything you can get, but, you know, sometimes you can fire off the fireworks a little too early. And I think that's what the Jets did last week. So I didn't expect the Jets to be dramatically better. When Dan Campbell took over the Lions, they were horrible that first year. It took a year and a half for the light bulb to come on. So they just need to have patience. And I hope that Woody Johnson this time around will stay out of it and let Darren Muji, the GM, and Aaron Glenn, the head coach, do their thing and see what happens. And obviously it's a critical game for both the Dolphins and the Jets on Monday night, because somebody's going to be 0-4 and essentially done. But you know what? The winner's probably done too.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about Roger Goodell. International Markets has a big press conference. He's teasing Europe again, overseas, about getting a team, and he thinks NFL can support a team, talking about a London-based franchise. Mike, are we going to see it happen someday, or are we just teasing the people over there and just keep giving them a game or 2 a year?
Well, I don't think it's a coincidence that talk happens every year as they're trying to generate interest in the European games. We don't talk about it the rest of the year. And It was 3 years ago, I believe, Roger Goodell was speaking at a panel on one of the London or Germany or whatever, and he mentioned the possibility of a 4-team division in Europe at some point. I think that's a possibility. Look, he spoke to CNBC recently, and he broached the topic of expansion, and that's on the list of the many items I want to write at PFT coming up today. But I think expansion is something we need to be ready for the NFL to start talking about because, number one, it increases inventory without increasing total games. And number two, even though there aren't enough good quarterbacks to go around, and you could say there aren't enough bad quarterbacks to go around, more football the NFL sees as more money as part of this globalization plan. So I think at some point it's going to happen, but it will never be just one team. It's going to be at least two. I remember Al Michaels saying 20 years ago, if the NFL ever goes back to LA, it's not going to be one team, it's going to be two. And it was like a lightning bolt moment for me. Hey, you know what? He's right. And that's what happened. It's going to be two teams in London, and it's going to be possibly two other teams elsewhere in Europe, whether it's one in Germany, one in Spain. I don't know, but I don't rule out four teams. It becomes difficult and challenging from the standpoint of structuring the league and the schedule and all of that. But this Vikings trip that we're seeing this weekend, two road games, neither one is a home game neutral site. They're both road games. This is the first test case of what it does to a team to go on the road out of the country for multiple weeks, because that's what will happen when there are teams permanently headquartered in other countries.
So Mike, I have to get to this because I thought of you reading the Tom Brady press release. Are you paranoid and distrustful, member of the media?
I'm very. And also, I am constantly on the lookout for people who are up to something because I am always up to something. I thought that was offensive, the whole thing. And whoever he paid to write that for him, he should be demanding a refund. It was just absolutely the wrong tone. Paranoia and distrust. Anybody who points out that the conflict of interest exists is paranoid and distrustful, and it's the product of our times. You know what the product of our times is, Joe? People who think they can do whatever they want, say whatever they want without consequence. That's the product of our times. And for him to ultimately say, presumably with a straight face, that there's no conflict of interest while he's trying to restore the Raiders to glory and serve all football fans as a broadcaster, it's cockamamie. It's preposterous. And then Roger Goodell chimes in and says, where's the conflict? He's not hanging around the facilities. We don't allow that. You don't allow it because of the conflict. That's where the conflict is. It's a dog chasing his tail. This whole thing, look, this is the NFL's fault. They had a chance last October to say no to Tom Brady. He wanted to buy a piece of the Raiders at a sweetheart deal because Mark Davis wants to have a cool friend. That's fine. But, and that's mean-spirited, but it's also accurate. But the league should have said, you got to pick a lane. You got to pick a lane. We'll approve your purchase of the Raiders at a below market rate if you give up your job at Fox, or you got to give up your bid to buy a piece of the Raiders. Tom Brady's basically saying, take my word for it. I can do both, as if he doesn't have a history of cheating from the perspective of the league. I don't know what he did, but the league thought he cheated and destroyed his phone, not because he always destroys his phone when he buys a new one, but because he's trying to hide the evidence of his cheating. That's what the league concluded. And they still gave this guy, a piece of real estate inside the hen house. So the whole thing is just weird to me, Joe, and it's not going to go away. And here's what's going to happen. Here's my prediction. It's going to periodically come up. And if the Raiders are ever really good, then it's going to be the same energy that we're seeing directed against the Eagles in the tush push. All of a sudden, it's going to be a 5-alarm fire. And what I'm going to say to all those owners is, what the hell were you thinking when you vote yes for Tom Brady to buy his piece of the Raiders from Mark Davis?
I got to ask you about the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Their schedule. I know they went to the Super Bowl, and I'm sure they're not the only ones, but I was looking at their schedule last night as they get set for another tough one, Ravens at Kansas City. My God, man, you Lions, Commanders, Bills, and Colts. Colts, of course, now look like they're legit. Mike, what's that record going to look like in your opinion when it's said and done, even with a couple of receivers coming back?
Well, remember the brouhaha from last month, or time's been a flat circle for me recently, but the Rashee Rice situation where he was going to play 4, 5, 6 games before he was suspended. There were people around the league that were like, why is this lingering into the season? And then I think the league eventually said to Rashee Rice, look, you either take 6 now or we're going to hammer you later. And they got him off the field. I think the Chiefs probably wanted him available for the start of the season just to get off to a better start. I think they knew they were potentially physically overmatched. And here they are at 1-2, looking at possibly 1-3. They should seriously consider trading for Tyreek. And I've heard they're interested. And I think with each passing loss, that becomes more and more of a possibility, whether it's the Chiefs or someone else. I have heard previously the Steelers were interested, but I've since heard that Mike Tomlin's concerned about the possibility of a video or a photo or some other tangible evidence emerging that would result in an immediate suspension of Tyreek Hill as a result of the domestic violence allegations in his divorce case. So I just think that the Chiefs need something. And I don't know that Rashee Rice is going to be the guy to make the difference. Hell, they need a running back. You got the quarterback as the leading rusher on the team, and he's got more yards than every other player on the team combined.
Crazy. No, Mike, this is absolutely crazy. All right, before I let you run, you like Jets Monday night or the Dolphins Monday night in this game?
Well, I picked the Dolphins to win, but I picked the Dolphins to beat the. Wait, no, did I pick the Dolphins to beat the Patriots? I think I did.
I think you did, yes.
There. But I just think the Dolphins are sufficiently desperate. I think this is one where if the Dolphins don't win this one, it's just a question of after which game the big changes are made. I think this is key. I think that the careers of Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer are, as a practical matter, riding on this game.
Mike, always great having you, man. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk. I told you he was going to be on fire. Hey, we got a lot more stuff. EJ Manuel is going to join us next, talk some college football right after this.
Sports lives here. 104.3